Welcome in Phantom to Jappy. Thank you for lurking, never blaming. Welcome and never blaming.
Hello, hello! Happy Wednesday, what's up? Never, thanks for the lurk, and Togepi, welcome in. Good to see you guys. Thanks for being here so early, too. Appreciate you. Hopefully you guys are ready for some Ace Attorney goodness. We're going to be starting the whole trial part, or I guess the second trial part, to be fair, of this final epic case. So this is going to be another three-parter, too. I believe it's 3 parts in the trial as well, so buckle in. We're going to only be doing about a third of it tonight. Yeah, I hope you guys have had a good one. Let's see, this is one of those cases that's so long and convoluted, I feel like we should just jump into it, you know? I don't know if I can give a good recap of it all. We'll get it along the way. Alright, let me make sure my pedals are working. Oh, let me restart the audio too, just in case. Trying to get in the habit of doing that every time. Was I doing some testing in the chat? Yeah, I was. Trying to test that new overlay at the top. Oh, it's not showing your name because you were the last one to chat or something, wasn't it? No, never. Oh, because never used a command. All right, let me change that setting really quick then. Yeah, I'm trying a new horizontal chat because the one that stacked vertically I felt like was blocking too much of the game, especially in the widescreen ones. So now the horizontal one won't block the game at all. But I'm glad you said something because now I see it doesn't show your name even after the name disappeared, and I don't like that. Should be pretty easy to fix. Give me just a moment. My dashboard. Okay, sideways chat. Settings. Show nickname every message. Yes.
Warning.
Say. Oh. Am I getting raided?
Raid incoming.
Hey, what's up? It's Joe.
Prepare for awesome.
Welcome in.
Hype.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. Oh, Papa, what's up, dude? There we go. I just think I fixed the chat too. Actually, let me refresh it really fast.
_Canis.
Welcome in, Papa. Welcome in, Joe. Yeah, howdy. What's up? How's it going? Well, I set up Bloomia today, and now my underdesk lighting is going crazy from the raid. Hell yeah. Resub for Nan months. Hell yeah, dude. Nan. 41. Hell yeah, dude. God, 41. That's been a long time, hasn't it, dude? Hell yeah. Welcome, everybody. We are about to start the trial of the final case in the Spirit of Justice Ace Attorney game. So for anybody who doesn't want spoilers, just thought I'd let you know. But it's a great anime game if you've never played it before. It's a lot of fun. A lot of crazy stuff happens. But yeah, feel free to stick around. Thanks for bringing everybody over. Joe, what were you playing? Let me see. Which stream you said? Batman Arkham Origins. Nice, dude. Hell yeah. Arkham Origins. Is that an older one? Have they made any new Batmans lately? Because I remember I played the first one and really liked it. Arkham Asylum. How was that, dude? How's the stream? Doing good, thanks? Hell yeah. Glad to hear it, dude. Alright, let's see. I just got my chat in order, so everything should be good. Trying out a new on-screen chat, so I hope it's good. Hope you guys like it. Let me see here. Let me just pause the music, and we're going to get into this. Okay. May 19th, 8:50 a.m. High Court of Coleraine. Let me turn down the thing. Anime! Dude, I love the anime moments. It's more like a slideshow. Okay, so all of the Defiant Dragons busted in and took over the place then, huh? Okay. Okay, so I'm remembering stuff from last week. So yeah, there was a bunch of people outside of Temple, and they were like saying to let Dirk go, let Dirk go. And for a little bit of a recap, Dirk is the leader of a rebel group called the Defiant Dragons, and this rebel group is defined by their disliking of a specific law that was put in place, and that law is called the Defense Culpability Act. And what that law does is it makes it so that if anybody tries to become a defense attorney, whoever they're defending, if they are proven guilty, the defendant or the defense attorney is also guilty and has to have the same sentence. So it basically like outlawed attorneys in this land. So classic Ace Attorney kind of bad guy type deal. Anyway, so yeah, Dirk and his rebellion was all trying to like get rid of that law because he used to be a lawyer and stuff. And so, but he's become like a rebel. And so at this point in the story, a bunch of his people were at the temple saying to let Dirk go and stuff. So just to give a little context to what we just saw. Yeah, it's the prequel. Oh, it's the prequel to Ark. I guess that Origins. Okay, that makes sense. Just gotten started out because I finished another game earlier than expected. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Cool. Hey, what's up, Vince? Welcome in, dude. Got here just in time. We were just about to jump on into it, dude.
Welcome in Vincent Vanquish.
It's complete chaos outside. Let's just say the Defiant Dragon supporters demonstrating for Dirk's freedom have taken a very special interest in the outcome of today's trial. They look about ready to string us up if we lose. Trials here are pretty much like the ones back home, but with one major difference. The divination seance. The victim's final memories will become a matter for deliberation. I've heard about that. But they haven't stopped you from winning your case here in Kahrain. True, but it wasn't easy. Still, the memories of the dead are simply another piece of evidence. There's always a way to deal with them if your client is truly innocent. Well, I know Dirk is innocent, but I have one more big secret. Apollo, in court tomorrow, you may find yourself faced with a truth that is difficult to accept. But I know you, and I know you can handle the truth, no matter what it turns out to be. I know that because I believe in you. You're my son, after all. Dirk, what is that secret you're keeping? Oh, who calls him AJ? Hey, AJ. Who's AJ? Who's the one that says... Oh, it's Stats. Stats is the one. Hey, AJ. The truth is, I am your father. Ah. Here you go, just like I promised. The Founder's Orb. The Founder's form has appeared from within. It seems like only the Queen knows, or it seems only the Queen knows the Founder's real name. Okay, so to give a little bit of background as we go. Founder's Orb. This is a relic of the Kahrainese people. It was filled in with, it was just like an orb before without the statue inside, but there was a secret in order to reveal it. And so like the legend behind this artifact is that if you reveal it, and if you solve the puzzle, the woman in there who is the original spirit channeler is supposed to bestow power upon you. So I think she's supposed to give you the ability to channel, but I think you have to have the ability to channel, because it's basically coming down to, this is how you see her face. You see the statue in her face, and then the high priest knows her name, and so with her face and her name, they can channel her, and then she can bestow on them, I assume, knowledge of spirit channeling or something. Anyways, that's the context of the Founder's Orb. It's gone through a lot of stuff and a lot of hands, but that's basically where we're at with this. I guess another detail is that there has been some, what do I want to say, stuff happening where the victim is said to have maybe been trying to use this thing to overthrow the current Queen of Kahrain because he wanted the power for himself. So there's that as well, but yeah, it's a little context there. Thanks, Stats. Wait, weren't you arrested by the police yesterday? Yep, and I spent the night in the slammer. I had a fine meal, a shower, even a bed. What more could I ask for? That actually sounds way better than where you were staying. Just remember, AJ, if Dirk's found guilty today, we'll all probably be found guilty under the Defense Culpability Act, too. Yeah, Nayuta said something to that effect. That witch Garan wants to take advantage of today to crush our revolution once and for all. The fate of the revolution and every Kahrainese person rests on this trial. We're counting on you, AJ. We'll be fine. I'm going to win this one. You'll see. The trial will begin shortly, Apollo. Let's make our way into the courtroom. Shit, bro. Nice one. Right. May 19th, High Court of Kahrain. Day 1 court is now in session. All rise. Let the trial of Dirk Sodmati begin. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Majesty. So it's really come down to this. Well, don't expect me to hold anything back, Nayuta. Yeah, for some more background for anybody for that. Apollo and Nayuta grew up together, so they were like brothers, basically. They were both raised by Dirk, and Dirk is Nayuta's real father. But there were some things that happened. So Dirk was in a relationship or married to the previous queen of Karain or something like that, and there's this basically a coup that happened where it was made to look like he tried to kill her, and that he actually did kill her, but she actually wasn't killed. She's not dead, and she was actually just hidden by the other parts of the royal family, and they're like acting like she's dead. And so that's why, so Dirk being an outlaw or whatever really stemmed from the fact that he was blamed for the death of his wife or whatever, but that isn't even true. And so Nayuta knows that his mom is still alive, but he thinks that they're just keeping her safe from Dirk or something. And so now he's prosecuting his own father in this case. And so we not only need to win over the court, we need to win over Nayuta, I guess, as well, probably, you know, in a classic anime style. Yeah. Kind of funny how we're in May when we're doing this case. Oh, yeah, because it's actually in May in the story, too. I feel like there's actually been a few of the cases. I guess we've been kind of following it pretty closely, right? Because I think it was just April before in the last case, too, right? And we did a lot of that one in April? Or no, I don't know. I feel like it just happened before. Maybe it wasn't this case. Maybe it was a previous case. But yeah, it's happened recently again. I think it's funny. The trial examined both the murder of the Justice Minister Inga Karakul Karain and the assassination of the former queen, Amara Segatar Karain. First, I believe we should address the murder of Minister Inga. Would that be acceptable, Prosecutor Sadmari? Prosecutor Sadmari? Yes, of course. Please proceed. What's with him? How very unlike you, Prosecutor. Is your mind elsewhere this day? Not at all, Your Majesty. Are you really going to be able to go through with this, Nayuta? Well, Prosecutor Sadmari, I would be remiss if I failed to voice a concern of mine. I have heard mention that you are the son to the accused, Dirk Sadmari. You have heard true. Does that fact pose some sort of problem, Your Majesty? A father being prosecuted by his own son. Could one possibly deliberate such a case without having personal feelings intervene? Yes, without question. Can he really be non-partial? Even if it is Prosecutor Sadmari going, how can the son of a criminal be a prosecutor in the first place? Dirk? Fellow citizens, you would do well not to underestimate my son. He's not one to allow personal feelings to interfere with the execution of his duty. Isn't that right, Nayuta? I will not stop until my work here is done. See? So all you doubters just sit back down before you trip over your own stupidity. That's my boy. The accused will not take the stand without first being summoned. In any case, if Prosecutor Sadmari has no issue with this arrangement, then let us commence the deliberations. Another objection. Queen Garan herself. One moment, if you would. Your Eminence. Your Eminence, what brings you here? She's standing right next to him. Your Majesty, it would appear that Prosecutor Sadmari does indeed have some reservations. No, that's not true. Did you truly believe you could deceive me, Nayuta Sadmati? One should hold no reservations if one is to stand on these hallowed funerary grounds. I have none, Your Eminence. No, it is clear we cannot leave this matter to you. We shall handle the prosecution of enemy of the crown Dirk Sadmati personally. Oh, we're gonna go up against Garan all of a sudden? Fucking last minute switch up, dude? But remain by our side and bear witness to how a true prosecutor enforces the law. Excuse me? But is the Queen going to prosecute the case? Is that, kosher? There is no need for concern. Before we were crowned queen, we served as a prosecutor. Of course, because everybody in this world is either a prosecutor or an attorney. Really? As a foreigner, your ignorance can be excused, but know this. The prosecutor in charge of the Queen Amara assassination case 23 years ago was none other than Her Eminence, Queen Garan Sigatar Karain. First your majesty, and now this. Why doesn't anyone ever tell me these things? I'd heard she'd served as a minister of justice, but she was also a prosecutor? I'm guessing she probably moved up the ladder from prosecutor to minister of justice. We prosecuted that case 23 years ago, but no verdict was ever rendered. We had one guilty verdict in every case until then, for no lawyer could stand up to us. I am at a loss for words. To think I would once more bear witness to Her Eminence at work in the Hall of Justice. Our first trial in 23 years. No quarter shall be given to criminals. We shall prosecute them with all of our might. If you're a prosecutor, and you're a prosecutor, and I'm a prosecutor, are there any prosecutors I should know about? What the fuck, dude? Is this her final form? Look how many Magatama she has, dude. Does that make her more powerful? She looks like the final boss. What a magnificent sight! The queen's retired from her prosecutor days. What the? That's Queen Garan? Talk about an extreme makeover. I'm a giant fan too, to whip my butt with. It's all coming back now. The feel of my blood pumping through my veins. Woe to you, O enemies of Karains, for I shall personally slice, dice, and grind you into a hog feed. I don't suppose I can ask her to roll back to her polite pre-makeover personality. Know this, lawyer. Yes? Now that I stand as prosecutor, consider your defense's bench a headman's scaffold. If you wish to leave any last words, I advise you to start thinking of them now. While you still have a head with which to think, that is. Jeez, dude, she's hardcore. Yeah, before she was into rock. Hell yeah, dude. I think I got the thing for that. Obviously, need to move that down a little bit. Meep. She's dead serious. Now it is time for the divination seance. Marifa, come forth. Marifa's like, God, I hate when my mom's like this. Your benevolence. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Dude, this is also like a fucked up thing that she's doing this too. Like, not only Nayuta is prosecuting his father, but freaking Rayfa is gonna have to do a divination seance for her father. Like, jeez, dude. Alright. Your benevolence. I understand it may be difficult for you, but may we proceed with the divination seance? Yeah, Mom, you're embarrassing me. Stop. Yes, let us proceed. Forgive me for asking, but are you feeling physically unwell? If so, I would advise you to avoid any undue exertion. Mm-hmm. Your benevolence? What's wrong? It's like her mind's anywhere but here. A lot's happened since yesterday. On top of the murder of her beloved father, she found out that he'd been planning a coup. And today she'll have to experience his death through his own eyes. Yeah, that would be enough to shake anyone up. Still, seems like she's worse off today than she was yesterday. Yeah, I don't remember her being this depressed.
We must speak with our child. It is a mother's duty to discipline her child, after all. Now, if you would excuse me.
Discipline? Coming from her, I don't like the sound of that at all. Wait. Garon didn't do something to her, did she? Your Eminence, about today's divination seance. As I understand it, the prosecution has yet to review its content. Is this divination from protocol, or sorry, is this deviation from protocol a part of your plan?
Prosecutor Sadmati, would you care to explain your actions?
Your Eminence, the accused was caught at the scene of the crime. Therefore, I deemed no seance would be necessary for such a clear-cut case. Probably trying to save Rafa from having to see her dad's final moments, right?
You and your bleeding heart. You seek to spare Rafa the trauma of witnessing her father's death. Is that why you have done this?
Not at all.
You were concerned for me, Prosecutor Sadmati?
That's oddly compassionate of him, all things considered. Your Eminence, your Majesty, regardless of what is best for her benevolence, this case is blessed with a bounty of incontrovertible evidence. So I believed we can reach a swift verdict without devoting precious time to a seance. You have a point. Personally, I would like to spare her benevolence any undue misery. Experiencing the murder of a loved one is a burden no one should have to bear.
Prosecutor Sadmati, your Majesty, can this trial truly proceed without a divination seance?
I can't blame her for not wanting to experience her father's murder firsthand. Your Eminence, what are your feelings on the matter? Shall we have her benevolence return home for some much-needed rest?
We shall not. You fools spoil her with your feckless words of compassion.
Damn, dog.
Listen well, Rafa. You have spoken time and time again about how grown up you are now. Yes, but... So, let us see if the royal priestess has truly come into her own. Are you prepared to fulfill your duty and perform the divination seance as you should? Yes. That's better. See, problem solved.
Poor Rafa. Is this really a good idea?
I think it's a good idea. I'm standby.
I just wanted to play that. I guess we'll see.
Very well. Let us begin. The divination seance. Nana, my robe.
Was Nana not here yet?
Oh,
Looks like Nana's still missing. It's been a whole day already.
barbed head.
Yes?
You remove my robe.
What? Why me? Don't keep her benevolence waiting now, Mr. Wright. Can't you see she's ready to begin?
Great. I've been reduced to a royal robe remover.
It's like she's grooming Mr. Wright to be Naina's replacement. She probably is, dude. Very well. Your benevolence, please start when you are ready.
Come, Rafa, you know what must be done. There is no turning back now. I know.
The final memories of the deceased. This should be interesting.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Here it goes. This is the judge's favorite part. Watching this just made me think, are there any magic systems that use dancing in like any books or anything? Like any fantasy things? I feel like that's one thing I've not seen. It's usually like a kind of like a religious thing like this, like a ritual or thing, right? When there's dancing involved. It'd be interesting if there was like, if a Harry Potter, everybody had to bust a dance move to do like a spell, you know what I mean? That would be interesting. Oh god. Here I am laughing. Look at her. Holy shit, dude. We should not have made her do that. No, she's gonna faint. Your benevolence. What's wrong?
Oh my god. This is unacceptable.
Bailiff, take her benevolence to the first aid station at once.
This is not good.
Your Eminence, do you have any idea why her benevolence collapsed so suddenly?
It seems she was not ready for what the deceased was to reveal. It overwhelmed her.
Wait one sec.
Her inexperience and immaturity left her ill-prepared to face her father's death. And she said she could go through with it. How very disappointing.
So I guess maybe this is okay. So I had a thought earlier, and then I thought it wasn't going to happen, but maybe it still will happen. So my thought was that maybe they'll do this thing where it's like Rayfa's not going to do the divination seance at the beginning of the thing, and we're going to go through the trial, and then like halfway through we're going to have to get her to do it because like it turns out it wasn't so clear cut, and we actually really do need to see what he saw, and then we'll finally see it, and then that'll have like some big game changer halfway through the trial or something. That's what I thought they were going to do. And then they had her do the seance anyways, and so I was like, okay, well, maybe not. But now she fainted, so maybe so. The ball's still in play. We'll see. I thought that could be kind of an interesting way of, and actually a very Ace Attorney way of doing it, you know. But to the dancing point, just imagine everyone doing a Gundam style to cast Lumios. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I think that'd be so funny, basically, to see exactly what you described. What if they did that? Like, why not? Like, I could totally see if you could have AI make a movie for you, right? By just doing like a description. I would say like, can I get Harry Potter mixed with like what's a good dance movie? You Got Served or something, you know what I mean? Like it's You Got Served, so there's the whole like a group of people against a group of people, but then you have Harry Potter, so there's magic. And so they're just dancing wizards shooting spells, doing so by dancing. That could be pretty interesting looking. Gangnam. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought the word was. But yeah, I knew what you meant either way. Yeah, wouldn't that be crazy? I would love to be able to just tell an AI, like, can you give me a scene from a movie that was like that? Just so I can see, because that would be freaking crazy, man. I wouldn't be surprised if there is some fantasy out there that has tried to do, like, dancing as a mechanism or something. I know someone who's not winning Mother of the Year ever. I mean, of course Rayfa's going to be overwhelmed. She's still just a child.
It seems we have no choice but to move on to witness testimony, Your Majesty.
Oh, yes. Let us proceed. Bailiff, summon the first witness, if you would. And we just, like, just go right on by her having that freak out, dude. Okay.
It's Dirk.
Is this not the accused?
It is indeed. I thought it would give him the opportunity to plead his case. For true justice is more than an unilateral presentation of the facts by the prosecution.
That seems uncharacteristically fair of her. I was just thinking the same thing. So it doesn't sound like something she would say.
However, should the accused fail to produce convincing testimony, he, along with his cabal of traitorous lawyers, shall immediately be found guilty, and their heads will roll from their shoulders.
What?
I should have known there was a catch.
Your court, your rules. Same as it always was, I see, Garon. Now, then, Mr. Dirksod Muddy, if you could enlighten us as to what happened. Well, I would, if I could. This testimony is just going to be, I do not recall.
Dirk explains himself.
I said he used to be a piece of shit. He's not anymore. I'm not in.
I'm not anymore. I love that show. I was struck by a sudden dizziness the moment I entered the tomb. The next thing I knew, I was standing there with a bloody knife in my hand. And laying right in front of me was Inga, dead as a doornail. I have no recollection of what happened in the interim. But I didn't kill him, or at least I don't think I did. And go against everything I believe in. Paul's like, dude, that did not help me, Dirk.
That didn't explain squat. For the record, let it be known that the accused's fingerprints were all over the murder weapon. And since he was caught in the act, there was no chance for a third party to tamper with it.
Well, that certainly seems to point the finger at you, Mr. Sodmuddy. Even as a lawyer, I have to agree with you there, Your Majesty.
Seriously, Dirk? This is no laughing matter.
This is exactly what Garan wanted. To have Dirk try to plead his case, only to fail miserably. How low can she go?
Prosecutor, behold this most unpleasant of spectacles, and let it be etched into your soul. See how instead of accepting the inevitable, those fish-brained lawyers flounder and flop themselves straight into the abyss of despair.
Yes, Your Eminence. Show me the way. That was like, almost like too much, you know? Like he was saying, yes, Your Eminence, show me the way. It just felt like Nayuta being a little too submissive there. Now then, would the defense please begin their cross-examination? Come on, Dirk, you gotta give me something. I was struck by a sudden dizziness the moment I entered the tomb. I mean, that seems pretty suspicious. You were struck by a sudden dizziness?
Was it because of his illness?
Oh, that's right. We found out last week that Dirk is dying. That's right. Is that something that has ever happened to you before? Can't say that it has. Maybe age is catching up with me. I'm no spring chicken after all.
That's not the issue here. A most cunning excuse. One befitting an insidious insurgent.
Oh?
A killer who does not recall his crime. How very convenient. Next, I imagine you will plead insanity. You aim to seek a lesser sentence through excuses and subterfuge, do you not?
Don't make me laugh, Your Malevolence. Nice one.
How dare you?
I'm merely stating my innocence. I have no intention of offering excuses. It's your baseless speculation I would decry as foolish. You deceitful witch. Damn, dude, hell yeah, get that last whole word in there. Show me the way to the promised land, my queen, one filled with rebel executions. Yes, the blood of rebels filling the streets.
Is it your wish that I should claim your head right now, in this very hall?
Well, that would certainly speed things along. Dirk, why don't you let me handle it from here? And if there's anything you need to say, you can say it through me, okay?
Anything to stop from needling the queen. Next time you have an objection, you'd better have some proof to go with it, Dirk.
The accused will continue with what he does recall of the crime. The next thing I knew, I was standing there with a bloody knife in my hand. Hold it! Hold it! Do you recall anyone putting the knife in your hand, Dirk? Wish I could say I did, but I don't remember a thing from before I came to. You think there might have been a third party in the tomb, son? Yeah, because if you didn't do it, then the real killer must have been there with you. You called, Your Eminence?
Does she go anywhere without those goons? Was there a third party in the tomb when you were securing it?
No, Your Eminence. We searched high and low, but found no one of the sort.
And there you have it.
Oh, right. They did search the place.
Furthermore, my guards had the entire tomb surrounded, so there was no way for anyone to escape.
That's right. No one got in or out without our knowledge. Her Eminence's on-site directives were absolutely flawless.
Do you see now? The presence of a third party is beyond the realm of possibility. The tomb was, for all intents and purposes, completely sealed off from the rest of the world.
What a waste of time. How can it be any more obvious? Dirk must be the killer.
Thanks for nothing, gallery guy. As if our graves weren't already deep enough.
Accused. What do you believe about the possible presence of a third party?
Well, based on the situation you presented, I'd say the chances are slim to none. You didn't have to agree with her, Dirk.
Let the accused's statement be added to his testimony.
Very well. Mr. Sodmati, if you would.
It's like the more we press, the thinner our case gets.
Well, let's keep pressing, and maybe we'll work out the wrinkle in it, too. The possibility of a third party being there in the tomb is probably non-existent.
Hold it! We can't prove you innocent without at least the possibility that a third party was there.
Maybe he was already dead, dude. Find the possible in the impossible, son. That's just what a lawyer's got to do sometimes. Isn't that right? Right. Who, me? Yeah, you could say that. I've seen more than my fair share of trials like that. They'd start with a viable evidence, useful testimony, they'd start with no viable evidence, useful testimony, or any hope of winning. But through cold sweat, desperation, and a little luck, I always managed to pull them off. Right. I can see we are kindred spirits, you and I.
Jeez, taking cases like that must have shaved years off of your life.
If that were true, I'd be long dead. Find the possible in the impossible. Can I prove that it was at least possible that there was a third party there?
As well as making outlandish claims in order to stall for time. Yeah, making huge bluffs. Yeah. Hail Marys.
Dirk, what did you see at the scene of the crime?
Let's see. I came to, and lying right in front of me was Inga, dead as a doornail.
Hold it! A doornail? You stated that he was as dead as a doornail. How can you be so sure?
It's pretty easy to spot the difference between a soulless man and a soulless shell of a man. His complexion and the amount of blood at the scene made it obvious which it was.
Watch your words, or you shall join Minister Inga much sooner than you expected. You can bow your head before him and seek his forgiveness there in the Twilight Realm. If you still have a head to bow, that is.
You bloodthirsty spider. What happened to you? There was still a little love in your heart 23 years ago. You even used to think of me as a brother.
It seems you truly have a death wish.
Is that really all you've got?
Dirk, I'm begging you. Enough of the lip. Just deliver your testimony, please.
All right. I'll try, but I can't promise you anything. I've no recollection of what happened in the interim.
Hold it!
A day's passed since the murder. Haven't you remembered anything in that time? My memory is a complete blank. It's as if that part of my brain has been scooped right out.
How very convenient. But even if you've no memory of the event, your guilt is without question. There was nothing more to debate.
You're forgetting one thing, Garan. I have no motive.
You lead a band of insurgents that seeks to overthrow the government. I would say that alone is motive enough to slay our kingdom's Minister of Justice.
I have declared countless times that I lead a bloodless revolution. I forbid violence and murder, even if some younger members may have a thirst for blood.
A bloodless revolution. He wouldn't really have a motive in that case.
Final statements, pressing ends with Garan shooting Dirk. Because it's just building up. That's funny. Let's see, is that an important statement? Probably. Let's save.
Yes it is.
That was an important statement. I'd like my client to add that to his testimony. Very well, then. The accused will please do as the defense has requested. I don't have a motive for killing Inga. After all, me and my ilk seek a bloodless revolution. Hold it! Hold it!
A bloodless revolution? Could you be more specific?
I'm talking about dragging his pompous prosecutor here, I'm talking about dragging this pompous prosecutor here off her bloody throne. So go ahead, Garan. Act all high and mighty now, because it's the last chance you'll get.
You still speak of rebellion despite the charges against you. You truly are a fool. I will prove your guilt soon enough, and display your head for all of Karan to see. Or Karain. People will forever speak of you, not as a revolutionary, but as the terrorist you are.
You're mistaken. Your malevolence. It will be you the people will speak of, as the tyrant who was overthrown by her own people.
I wonder if he will still be spewing such nonsense before the headman's axe.
I'm afraid I'll still be like this in the afterlife, despot.
I know that self-restraint is as foreign as apple pie to Dirk, but...
Sorry, I butchered that.
I know that self-restraint is as foreign as apple pie to Dirk, but... I'd really rather go home than the Twilight Realm after this.
But I didn't kill him. At least, I don't think I did. It'd go against everything I believe in. Hold it!
Hold it.
Can you state that you didn't kill him more definitively? How can I, when I have no memory of what happened?
Well, can you at least state whether or not you are a murderer?
That I can do. I am not a murderer, and I would never kill anyone, no matter the circumstances.
And do you have any evidence to support your claim that you did not kill the minister?
Evidence? No, I can't say I do.
In that case, you will strike the statement I didn't kill him from your testimony.
Wait, you can't just discard testimony like that. I mean, I'm the one cross-examining the defendant and all.
Hold your prattling tongue, foreign devil. I am the queen of this kingdom, and the queen is the law. As such, I need not follow the laws that are in place. I can make and break them at will.
Henceforth, the accused will refrain from stating I didn't kill him.
What?
Sure, whatever. It's the Garan show, after all, same as always. Though I guess there's no evidence that proves I didn't kill him either. Hold it! Dirk, leave the evidence finding to me.
Now please stop agreeing with everything the prosecution says.
All right, I'll stick with the facts from now on. But remember, son, if you truly believe in me, you should be able to prove my innocence. I know you can do it.
He believes I'll prove him innocent. Even with all these inconvenient truths? Is that what he is saying?
I think Dirk might be onto something. Even the most disadvantageous facts may point the way to the truth. Yeah, that's happened to Phoenix multiple times. I have not unalived that man. Yeah, he just restates it. There you go. So don't ignore them. Think of them as food for thought.
Don't worry, I know. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. I need to remember that, no matter how difficult the facts may be to deal with.
If only we could establish the possibility of a third party. But does the possibility itself even exist? We don't have a choice. Proving it exists is the only way to start a real dialogue here. I'm thinking that we don't know that he died in that moment, right? Like, is that maybe something we could do? Let me look at the evidence.
Ooh,
pardon me. See, that's something I forgot to do. We're always supposed to look at the evidence, Domm. Why did we skip that today? All right, let's see. Let's look at what we got. Attorney's badge, as usual. Photo of Joe Justice. I guess that will come up at some point. Inga's autopsy report. Time of death, May 18th, approximately 3 p.m. Cause of death, blood loss from the stab wound in his back. Diagram of the crime scene. Amara's sarcophagus is in the very center. Tomb crime photo, a photo of Inga's body. He was stabbed in the back with a knife. How'd that blood get there in the background? Maybe that'll come up. Gemstone, Inga's button discovered in the ashes of the tomb's incense burners, caked in soot. Pink butterfly pendant, it seems to belong to Dirk. A fingerprint was found on the inside of the lid, stained with the victim's blood. Mysterious blood stain. An unidentified blood stain from Amara's tomb. It was already wiped up and does not belong to the victim. I guess this would probably be how you would prove that there was a third person, right? Because there's an unidentified blood stain that was not the victim's blood, right? That could be it. Painkiller shots, the medication Inga used for his back pain, said to make the pain disappear. Inga's notepad, a notepad used by Inga. People's characteristics are written inside. Nina, purple hat, glasses, diamond-shaped tattoo on her forehead. Dirk, long hair, eye patch, blue clothes. Phoenix Wright, spiky hair, blue clothes, pink necktie. Woman's photo. That's Amara. And baby Nayuta, I think, right? She's very pretty. A photo showing Dirk and Amara's life on the run about 23 years ago. Channeling photo. A picture taken at around 2 p.m. of the channeling rite. I forgot about this one. Huh. I wonder how that one's going to come up. Albie's statement. Around 2 p.m., Shahadu was surprised by a firecracker. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning all of a sudden. Oh, stop, dude. I'm not even that tired. Around 2 p.m., Shahadu was surprised by a firecracker, ran into the courtyard, and stole Naina's hat. Dats leapt out of a bizarre manhole, got yelled at by a dog and a warbod, and then threw a firecracker. The shocked look on Albie's face had Dats in stitches when the police came along and detained the rebel. The noise spooked Shahadu, who ran off when Albie caught up to him in the courtyard. Shahadu had what looked to be Naina's hat. It was Mask to Mask! He might pop up at some point, dude. Who knows? Mask to Mask. He's a sneaky guy. Thank you for the hydrate. Never. I will do that. I got a new water bottle, too. It's pretty nice.
And hello again, Never. Thank you for the lurk earlier. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well today, man. And yeah, thanks everybody for coming by today. Alright, let's see. So we took Nina's hat. That's pretty much the main thing there. I guess Dad's got arrested. Maybe that'll come up. Amara's assassination file. A file containing a ton of info on the assassination of Amara Sigatar Karain. And we have 3 pages pointed out to us. Hell yeah, Helldiver. Sweet, man. What level are you? I think I just got to 20 recently. I haven't played too much, but it was a lot of fun. My spare headphones are too tight for my head. Oh, yeah, that sucks, dude. Let's see. The arson incident involving Amara's private residence. Amara was slipped a sleeping pill and perished in the fire. The lighter found at the scene had Dirk's fingerprints on it. But Amara's not dead. Page 20. Apollo's roving musician father got caught up in this incident and lost his life. He was struck in the head by the culprit. The victim's passport and any pictures of him were burned up in the fire. Without knowing his real name, no divination seance could be performed, which was probably intentional by the actual murderer or the arsonist or whatever. They probably killed him and got rid of his name just because no one could divination seance him. I still think that's going to come up. We're going to find out Jove Justice's real name, and if it's not Jove Justice, and then we're gonna channel him at some point. I hope that happens. That just seems interesting to me. Level 4041, nice, dude. I've been playing basically since the game came out. Nice, hell yeah, dude. Just not often enough. Gotcha. Sounds like you got a lot of the cool toys at least, man. Probably at that level, I assume. I'm pretty excited to get to 25 so I can get that mech suit. I got a couple of friends that got that. It seems pretty cool. Waiting for extension cord for my usual headphones. Oh, yeah. And they can't reach behind my PC. Oh, yeah, I use extension cord for mine, too. I know how that is for sure. Let's see, page 34. As the son of the terrorist Dirk, Nayuta was expelled from the royal family. The idea that the sins of the father are visited upon his children is deeply rooted in the minds of the Karinese people. So, yeah, Nayuta was disgraced. I forgot about that. Dirk's Law Book, document establishing the Defense Culpability Act in the name of the Queen. The Defense Culpability Act, in the name of Her Eminence, those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. Very simple language. We got Dirk's badge, the symbol of Dirk's creed. A dragon never yields. Nayuta never confiscated it. And then we have the Founder's Orb. The Founder's form has appeared from within. It seems only the real Queen knows the Founder's real name. Actually, it's just only the Queen. I said the real Queen, but it's just says Queen. All right, there we go. We've looked at everything. And now, does any of that have anything to do with what's going on right now? Struck in the head, a sudden dizziness the moment I entered the room or the tomb. Oh, I think this is the one. He says the possibility of a third party being there in the tomb is probably non-existent. Not true, because we, with Luminol, found traces of blood that were not the victims. So, not possible. Let's see. Let's save first. Because I could be completely wrong. Objection!
Objection!
Your Eminence, I'm afraid this trial will not go exactly as you anticipated. Because I can show how there might have been a third party in the tomb. Oh, how very fascinating. Go on. I do so love a good fairy tale. We did a luminol test at the crime scene, and we found a blood stain that didn't match the Justice Minister's blood. I'll remind you that neither Dirk nor Miss Fey were injured during the incident. The thing is, this bloodstain we found had been wiped up by someone.
What's this? But who would have done such a thing?
That's the big question, isn't it? Who wiped up the blood, and why? Thinking about it logically, it must be someone who wanted to conceal their presence at the scene of the crime. Oh, and whom do we suppose the bloodstain might belong? The bloodstain belongs to... the real killer? That's what I would think out of these. It's either Amara, the real killer, or the victim. And we just established it's not the victims. That's why it's significant. And it's, why would it be Amara? It's gotta be the real killer. That's the thing it's implying. It's obviously, it's not, Dirk's not the bad guy. It's actually the person who owns that blood. Or who wiped it up. The bloodstain belongs to the real killer, of course. Whoever it was, they were probably shot while they were attacking Minister Inga. And since their blood would give them away, they had to wipe it up. I say this because we know for a fact that the Justice Minister fired his gun in the tomb. You have the memory of a flea. There was nowhere for anyone to hide. This, too, is a fact known. But a bloodstain from a third party means there must have been someone hiding there. Very well, then, tell me this. Where was this third party hiding? Oh, the crime scene was thoroughly searched after it was discovered. So if there was a hiding place, it would have to be somewhere no one would dare look. Or the person could have been, like, dressed up as one of the guards, I guess. That could have been crazy, right? Somewhere no one would dare look? In the sarcophagus, I guess, right? No one would look in the sarcophagus, right? Let's have your answer, defense. So where would they be? Now, where could a third party have hidden? The sarcophagus. There's one place no one would search, not even the Queen's Royal Guard. And that would be inside Queen Amara's sarcophagus. Even now, it's locked up tight. No one would find you if you hid in there. It was half broken for a few months already. Well, I'm sure you'll be glad to get a fix for that then, huh? I'm told that it's a temperature control to preserve the mummy within. But if someone dressed warmly enough, they could withstand the cold for a short time. This is sacrilege. Surely the perpetrator of such a foul deed would be cursed. But that's just it. The killer knew everyone would be too scared to open the sarcophagus. True. The guards were so scared of being cursed, they wouldn't even touch it. Thanks for the alert, bud. And when the coast was clear, the killer made a quick escape from within their frigid confines. Well now, it does sound like a plausible method of evading capture. The defense requests a DNA test on the bloodstain. And then we will see who the real killer is. Such insolence, that's a good one. Bow your head and kneel, lawyer. So your head may be parted from your shoulders. Huh? But the trial's not even over. Whoa! How soon you forget you are already on the headman's scaffold. As such, I could order your beheading at any moment. All I did was request a DNA test. There is no need to request such a test. Royal Guard, bring it forth now. Here you are, Your Eminence. The police have already identified the source of the bloodstain, and the DNA test revealed that the blood is of the traitor, Dirk Sadmati. What? But Dirk wasn't injured. So where did his blood come from? Maybe he coughed it up. Dirk's illness. Dude, this is not... God damn it, dude. They always do this to us, don't they? Garad doing the anime wind move. Yeah, she is. Still, there was a lot of blood. Could he have really coughed up that much? And did he wipe it up to hide his failing health? Dirk, is it really that bad? Aw, shoot. You got me. Mysterious bloodstain updated in the court record.
Pay attention, Horned Devil, for this case has already been solved. You claimed that this bloodstain would lead us to the real killer, did you not?
Fuck yeah, I did. About that.
Did you or did you not make that claim of your own volition, Defense?
Yes, I did. After she steered you in that direction, that is.
I fell right into her trap.
Do you see now the folly in opposing the very embodiment of the law? Whatever you say or do shall come to no avail. A third party at the scene of the crime is beyond the realm of possibility. No!
Praise be for Queen Garon. Her Eminence's legal tactics are beyond compare.
I hate to say this, but she's really got us good.
The key to Amara's sarcophagus is under the protection of the royal family. My husband and I are the only ones who could have opened it. Therefore, it would be impossible for some knave to open it.
Can I really discount the sarcophagus as a hiding place, though? What if the real killer is still in there? No, that's just ridiculous.
I believe we have rebels and sympathizers in the gallery today. It is to you I speak. Have you been listening? Dirk Sodmati, the one who proclaimed a bloodless revolt, has betrayed your cause by resorting to murder.
No, it can't be. Dirk would never.
There must be some kind of mistake.
The Defiant Dragons and their sympathizers are starting to have doubts.
So this is why Garon allowed us to cross-examine Dirk. By establishing his guilt in Inga's murder, she's effectively damaged his reputation among those who support him. True, but now we have an even bigger problem.
And now, filthy lawyers, you will honor your end of the bargain. Accept your guilty verdict for your failure to explain your client's actions.
Gulp?
Huh?
Now I shall pass judgment upon the criminal, Dirk Sodmati.
What's this? You shall pass judgment? I thought that was my job. But Your Eminence, is that not my role?
Hold your tongue. You are but a figurehead before me, the embodiment of law. Consider yourself dismissed.
It's like corrupt as fuck, dude.
As Queen of Karain, I shall now pass judgment upon the accused.
Everybody's fucking cheering.
Wait! You didn't even give me a chance to rebut. Know when you are defeated, lawyer. But just this once, I am willing to show you the depths of my compassion. Tell me why I should allow these proceedings to continue. Come, convince me.
Quick, Apollo. Even if you have to bluff, we've got to keep this trial going. Show her that the crime could have been committed by a third party.
How am I supposed to do that?
Oh, why don't you start with, how about the timing of Inga's murder? What? This whole case is built on a single premise. That Inga was murdered after Dirk entered the tomb. But what if that's not true? See, that's what I said earlier. Like, if our assumptions are all wrong?
It just might work.
Well, don't keep us waiting, defense.
Dirk became the prime suspect because it didn't seem probable that there was a third party at the scene of the crime. But there is another question we should ask ourselves at this time. Was Minister Inga really killed after Dirk entered the tomb? What nonsense is this? Setting aside the assumption that the murder occurred after Dirk arrived on the scene, opens up the possibility of a third party committing the crime. The question before us is, when was Minister Inga really killed?
After the body was found, after Dirk entered the tomb, before Dirk entered the tomb. Probably before. That's what I was thinking. He was dead already.
Isn't it possible that, before Dirk even set foot in the tomb, Minister Inga was already dead?
That would certainly make the possibility of a third party more probable.
Why, of course. I fell unconscious right after I entered the tomb. Even if I hadn't, I wouldn't have had a clear line of sight to his body from the entrance. Which means
You wouldn't have noticed his body either way. This scenario is entirely possible. And so we can't rule out the possibility of a third person committing the crime.
I see. Well, that certainly does make sense.
So far, so good. This might actually work. Very well. I shall play along with whatever little game you have knocking around in that tiny mind. I was starting to get quite bored of all of this. I could do with a distraction. Yes! Let us hear some testimony that will shed light on when exactly the minister was slain. Bailiff, summon Rafa. Surely she has recovered by now.
But what about me? Don't I serve a purpose anymore?
That's funny. It happens to the judge so often, too, you know? This reminds me of Simon, dude. Simon was always taking charge of the court as well.
I hope you are feeling better, Your Benevolence.
Must I perform the divination seance?
What? Oh, no. We merely require your testimony this time.
How could my testimony be of any value?
Your Benevolence.
Princess Rafa seems awfully depressed. After what she's been through, summoning her again is like rubbing salt in the wound. Being unable to perform the seance was probably the last straw. I hope she doesn't pass out again. Prosecutor Sadmati, may I ask you something?
Of course, Your Benevolence.
I've been meaning to ask you this since yesterday. Did you know about Queen Amara? And about me?
From where did you hear such a thing?
From Mother. And only yesterday. Rafa was carrying on about telling the truth to the people. So I told her. I told her what the truth really was. For it is up to a mother to discipline her child.
I see. Oh, that's right, because the kid that was in the picture was actually Rafa? Is that maybe? I remember that being a thing that we discovered last week too. That Rafa might be the child of Amara?
Be as it may,
Your benevolence, it has no bearing upon our trial here today. So, there is no need to let it trouble you.
I know.
Garan told Rafa about something other than Amara's status? Sounds like it. But what could it be?
Rafa, the defense has proposed something preposterous. They somehow think your father was already dead when Dirk entered the tomb. But I believe you can prove them wrong. Are you prepared to do what is required of you? Yes, I am ready to testify.
Very well then, Your Benevolence. Your testimony, if you please.
What Rafa witnessed.
On the day of the murder, I was gazing upon the courtyard from my second-floor veranda. Around 2:30 p.m., I saw my father heading for Amara's tomb. Then at about 2:45, I saw Barbed Head and company into the courtyard. I saw no one in or out of the tomb after my father entered about 2:30.
Your second floor veranda?
Oh, she must be talking about that house facing Inga's private residence.
So that's the location from which you saw your father? At about 2:30?
Yes, and shortly after that, you people arrived at the royal residence.
So after the minister entered Amara's tomb at around 2:30, no one went in or out of there until the murder was discovered.
The tomb is closed to outsiders, so no one could have snuck in before the murder. That rules out any possibility of a third party lying in wait to slay my poor husband.
Your poor husband, you were saying he was trying to overthrow the... What? Or so she'd like us to believe.
Now hear me, you useless lawyer. Cease this charade and bow before me. For I, Queen Garan, shall finally have your head.
Forgive me, Your Eminence, but first let us allow the defense to question the witness.
What Rafa witnessed.
On the day of the murder, I was gazing upon the courtyard from my second-floor veranda.
Hold it! Hold it.
You say you'd been watching the courtyard until we arrived, correct? It seems like an awfully long time.
There is much what weighs on my mind.
I see.
She really does sound troubled.
I don't think she ever fully recovered from the previous trial.
Your Benevolence. As Crown Princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy, and what is true and what is false. And most importantly, what role you must play therein.
I wonder if I'm even up to the task.
I guess it's not easy being a princess. Your Benevolence? I'd be happy to lend an ear if you'd ever like to talk.
Are you hitting on me? What would you know of my woes? Do not presume to exceed your station in life.
Sheesh, teenagers.
Your Benevolence, What did you witness from your veranda?
Well, around 2:30 p.m., I saw my father heading for Amara's tomb.
Hold it.
Did your father seem different or troubled in any way?
Let me think. Oh, there was one unusual thing.
There was?
Yes, a shriek emanated from within my father's quarters. After which I witnessed him bolt outside, his countenance drained as his countenance drained of its usual color. I don't know why I couldn't say that. His countenance drained of his usual color.
He screamed and he was looking pale? What do you suppose happened?
I know not. Perhaps he had a bad dream.
Maybe it was a nightmare about being raked over the coals by the queen.
It seems our young lawyer here wishes to hasten his journey to the Twilight Realm.
Sorry. That was rude of me. Does the defense believe the witness's last statement to be important? I believe it is. I would like the witness to add it to her testimony.
My father let out a scream and came dashing out of his room, his face pale.
Hold it! And why do you think he screamed? Was he surprised by someone who didn't belong there? Did anyone else come out?
I didn't see anyone else, just my father.
That last statement was seriously lacking in conviction. Should I press her on this? Yeah, I think he was getting it on with Nana. Yeah, maybe something like that, you know? Be nice and leave it. Press softly. Press hard. Press softly. Let's try that one. It's funny if you have an option there. Your benevolence.
Yes?
This incident was a real shock to us all. It must have been really terrible for you. But I want to let you know, I know how you feel.
Please, stop. You presume too much.
It's times like these that you need something to take your mind off of things. How about we all go on a picnic together or something? It's like he's trying to hit on her.
I need no sympathy from you. Go on your little picnic alone, hornhead.
Well, that didn't go well. Apollo, you have to take a more aggressive approach with people like her. Yeah, he's probably right.
Now, back to my testimony.
Or back to where we just were so we can push her hardly. Loads on. Press harshly. Your benevolence. Let's have some details. The more the better.
Details, you say?
Yes. For example, are you sure you didn't see anyone in the royal residence before 2:30? Well, is that a yes or a no?
Foreign devil! I'd been gazing upon the courtyard since about 2 yesterday. Yet I saw none other than my father. Oh, if only I had stopped him then.
I think you've struck a nerve. A rather obliterated one. Maybe I pressed a little too hard. Still, that last statement seemed a little off somehow. So you didn't see anyone except your father in the courtyard after 2 p.m., huh? Please add that to your testimony, Your Benevolence.
I had been gazing upon the courtyard since about 2, but father was the only one I saw.
Hold it! Paul's still thinking about Dirk being a bachelor. Is the royal residence always so empty?
Naturally. It is where the royal family lives, and we are few in number. Besides Nana and the little birds who visit, I have no one else to talk to.
Is there anything more stereotypically princessy than talking to birds?
So, Nana wasn't around all yesterday?
It seems she was quite busy. I was alone the entire day. It's been like that a lot lately.
Rafa doesn't go to school, so she probably doesn't have any close friends. She must lead a rather solitary life. I guess being a princess isn't all it's cracked up to be. I feel like that's like one of the messages that people get from anything that's about a princess. It's like, oh, being a princess is tough. So hard being a princess. Having a second floor veranda, it's so difficult. I don't think it's being a princess. I think it's having parents like this, right? That's probably what's hard. I don't know that it has that much to do with being a princess.
Rafa, I shall buy you a new servant. I don't want you to buy me a servant like some sort of pet. I want Nana.
I'm beginning to see why Rafa turned out like she did.
Your benevolence. Please let us. Please tell us about what happened after you saw your father.
Well, it was around 2:30 when I saw him heading for the tomb.
Yeah, she's probably the Carane's Snow White, sure. She needs some dwarves, though, huh? Guess Albie can be one.
Then at about 2:45, I saw Barbed Head and company enter the courtyard.
Hold it. 2:45. Yes, I believe that's around when we arrived. Mr. Wright, Athena, Dirk, and I were running toward the tomb.
Yes, I was taken aback, and we don't normally have commoners in the palace courtyard. Even more shocking was that Dirk, a wanted man, was with you.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I thought the villainous leader of the Defiant Dragons was here with his minions. Because it was, you know, time for a revolution.
I think you've been watching too much of that TV show.
I have already banned its broadcasting for containing content unsuitable for our kingdom. Besides, the actress playing Rafa looked nothing like her. I can't have my subjects feeling so disappointed when they see the real Rafa. What? Mother? Why are you so cruel to me? Are you so ashamed? Once I'm all grown up, I shall be just as full-figured as that actress.
It's like, look, you're just a young lady, man. What the hell? Why are we doing that to her? She's placing all her hopes in one final growth spurt. For her sake, I hope it's in her DNA.
I suppose you could always hope for a miracle.
Jeez, what the hell? What?
Oh, I'll show you. I shall double my milk intake and grow up big and strong.
Eat your broccoli. There, your benevolence. I think you're fine just the way you are. Now, may I ask that you continue with your testimony?
I wish I could grow up faster.
No, you don't.
I saw no one go in or out of the tomb after my father entered at about 2:30.
Hold it. She's getting grilled and roasted. Yeah, just for being a young lady. What the hell? Is it possible you miss seeing someone pass through?
No. My veranda has a commanding view of the entire grounds, and I saw no one else.
But that doesn't seem right somehow.
Do not underestimate my daughter. She may be lacking elsewhere, but her eyes are the finest. Lacking elsewhere?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Talk about a mother I'd never wish on my worst enemy.
She needs Nana now more than ever. Rafa didn't see anybody in the royal residence area after 2 p.m. So what if Nana is like Amara or something? It's like Amara in disguise. Amara in disguise. It's Nana. Rafa didn't see anybody in the royal residence area after 2 p.m. That's a really long time to just look at a courtyard. I mean, if you're depressed, man. She was probably lost in thought. She's at an age where I'm sure she's got a lot on her mind. On the day of the murder, I was gazing upon... Oh, yeah, this is the beginning of it again. Okay, so now we need to figure out what to press. All right, I need to take the dog out really quick and let him do his business. So we're going to take a break really quick, but I'll be back right after that, and we will continue with the case. So, yeah, don't go away.
Found the jungle treasure. It was really neat. If you haven't met Pitfall Harry, you're missing the year's most incredible video game adventure. Pitfall for the Atari 2600 and in television.
Since I met Pitfall Harry, no other man will do.
Pitfall, designed by David Crane for Activision.
The Legend of Zelda continues. Defeat your enemies, save the kingdom. Some will help you, others will betray you. Restore life. I can get magic. I cannot help you. Zelda! Use your sword. Find the crystals. Rescue the princess. Zelda! Zelda! Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, only from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power.
Plus 6 free strategy guides on a hot new game. That's twice the power for still $15. Wow, go now.
You know, even I'd never take a joke this far. Oh! Oh! Did you see that? My only secret is my depression. I will never let anyone know. Oh no. But tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a mistake.
Oh God, tell me why.
I never want.
If you like. There it is. Roll. What happened? Oh my God, did you see that?
What do you think you're playing, The Sims?
Yes.
Little ditto here. He'll help me out. Objection! No! Object you! Is that testicles on the end of his gun? Dead ass dough? Is that an ass dough?
9 if you call now. It's unbelievable. It includes the melter, it includes the candle jars, it includes the wax. All of this for yours in $19.99 right now.
Can you make him twerk? I can try. Let's see. Let me step back, make it big, and he's twerking it. Oh, he's twerking it. There you go. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh, he just said woo. Woo, woo-key. Woo, 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 woo-key. Hey there, big guy.
I'm afraid you've forgotten what's already been proven. I am highly attracted to you.
What?
That means I want you to remove some clothing, even if it's just something around your neck. You're hardly unrelated. Please remove your scarf.
Judd would love to see your disrobe exactly.
No! Oh, I'm fucking surfing here, bro.
Daddy?
About that.
down, Chief. I'm in the fucking zone.
Come on, fellas. Can we work this out or something? Dude, you're stepping on my hands.
The Elder's answer.
Ooh. How is everybody? We can talk. We're doing. Whoa. Or you can send me out here. You know what? Fuck y'all.
Daddy?
I'm a milk drinker. I care about this body of mine. Staying fit, healthy, trim. Milk is beautiful nutrition without a lot of calories. And even if you never give your body this kind of workout, think about what you do give it. Milk, it does a body good.
Used to be you couldn't meet a stranger in Mallard Falls. And if you did, you'd always receive a friendly wave. Doors remained unlocked, and the laughter of children echoed through the streets. But that era feels like a fading dream, lost in the shadows of our present reality. How did we spiral into this mess? The rampant violence, the insidious grip of drugs, the corruption that seeps into the very fabric of our society. Fear has become an unwelcome companion, lurking in every corner. Have we pushed the boundaries of redemption too far? Can justice still find its way to the people it's meant to protect? Some are quick to blame the leaving of the logging industry, the pivotal moment when our town's heart started to wither. Others point fingers at the younger generation, accusing them of harboring desolate ideas about the world. And then there are those who throw statistics in my face, claiming that violent crime rose by a staggering 40% since I took office as county sheriff. They brand me as incompetent, accusing me of devoting more time to my real estate endeavors than combating crime. But come on now. In this day and age, who doesn't have a side hustle to keep their head above water? And now the county council has the audacity to launch an investigation against me, questioning my use of county funds. They scoff at the notion of a $6,000 espresso machine, and the nacho cheese maker, and even the fancy rainfall shower heads I personally installed in the men's locker room. Can they not understand the importance of comfort and morale for those who risk their lives daily? Have they ever felt the rejuvenation of standing beneath a rain?
All right, we're back. All right. Where were we? We are... Yeah, we got to figure out what we need to present, right? Let's see here. Thank you. Let's go through the whole testimony again really quick. On the day of the murder, I was gazing upon the courtyard. Around 2:30, I saw my father heading out. It was a scream, probably, right? My father let out a scream and came dashing out of his room, his face pale. His face pale. Why would his face be pale? From his steroid intake? probably that Nana revealed herself to be Amara or something. What's Albie's statement? Around 2 p.m., Dad slept out of a bazaar manhole. Shook Albie's face. Dad's had stitches, and the police came. The noise spooked Shadu, who ran off. When Albie caught up to him in the courtyard, Shadu had what looked like to be Nana's hat. So I feel like it's probably this, but I don't know. This seems like a stretch to link this. Although I think these things are related. I don't know if that game wants me to do this yet, but we're gonna save it. I think we're gonna try it. Objection. What is that noise? Oh, that was one of my Chords of Steel voice training exercises. Well, from now on, you shall keep such, what is it, caterwauling out of this sacred hall. Caterwauling? All right, hold on. That's a new word for me.
Caterwaul.
Caterwaul. Make a shrill howling or wailing noise like that of a cat. Caterwaul.
Caterwaul.
Caterwaul. Huh. Never heard that word before, and obviously that was not the right thing. I think these things might be related though, but it's just that's not, you know, it's the picture of the banana situation, not the banana itself. Or I'm totally wrong. that could also be. Or it could be the right evidence in the wrong slide, I guess. But we have his painkiller shots. Pain disappear. Notepad. I don't know, that's the only one I can really think being related to, like, this moment. There was another page here. No, yeah, that's... let me go back and see if there's another thing she said. I've been gazing upon the courtyard since about 2. My father was the only one I saw. Maybe it's here because she should have seen Shahadu. Or maybe it's that she wouldn't have recognized Nana. Well, she would have said that she saw somebody. But she should have seen Shahadu, right? I'll try it here.
Objection.
Oh. Your benevolence. You're covering for someone, aren't you?
Huh? I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, Rafa, but you're not gonna like this. Well, the thing is, I have a statement here that you might find interesting. It's from a witness who claims that, around 2 p.m., his dog got loose and ran into the palace courtyard. That's when the little fellow stole this hat from someone.
That's Nana's. I mean, nothing. Never mind.
You fool of a daughter. Seems the princess made a blunder. So let me get this straight. This is Nana's hat, which means she had to have been in the royal's residence at around 2. If so, then you had to have seen Nana sometime after 2 p.m. yesterday.
Oh, no!
Please, your benevolence, tell us what you really saw.
It is as you say, Hornhead. I saw Nana. And I saw that dingbat dog steal her hat from her in front of my father's residence.
I knew it. Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Because, my mother told me not to.
What? Would you care to explain, Your Eminence?
I requested she withhold said information, for it is of no relevance to this case. You don't get to decide. If you disagree, then prove that it is relevant to the case at hand.
Oh, I will. Your Benevolence, please tell us everything you witnessed when you saw Nana.
All right. When I saw that dingbat dog attack Nana, I ran to help. I raced off my second floor veranda down into the courtyard.
Wait. That means that while you were coming down to look your eyes off the... wait. While you were coming down, you took your eyes off the courtyard.
Yes, but only for a moment.
This is crucial testimony. If you took your eyes off the courtyard, it means somebody else could have entered the tomb without you ever knowing. Your Benevolence, are you sure no one else was there?
No, yes.
She's hiding something again. What about Nana? Were you able to help her?
When I got down to the courtyard, Nana was... She was gone.
Gone?
Yes. And I never saw her again after that.
Any idea what happened?
That dingbat dog must have gobbled her up!
I seriously doubt that. Oh, shit. Hopefully I didn't use the radio voice last time. It looks like I was on the wrong voice for a second. But how could Nana simply disappear while Rafa wasn't looking? Rafa must know something. The only question is, what? Why Shahadu was in the courtyard where Nana disappeared to, why Nana disappeared. That's what I'm thinking. Why do you suppose Nana disappeared? Even an educated guess would help.
For example?
For example, maybe she got fed up with you acting like a spoiled child. You know, something like that. That's enough.
Such impudence! Nana would not leave me merely for acting spoiled.
You're not even going to deny your behavior? In any case, seems I was wrong. Moving right along. Rafa must know something. The only question is what? Okay. Where she disappeared to? I don't think it's the Shahadu thing. Do you have any idea where Nana disappeared to?
What do you mean?
Well, during the time you took your eyes off the courtyard, someone could have headed into the tomb. It just so happens that Nana disappeared right at that moment.
No!
Wait, you think Nana had something to do with the murder? I don't think we can rule it out. Sounds like something had kept Nana occupied since the early morning. Plus, she was seen right before the murder and then seemed to vanish into thin air. You're right. And since she's Rafa's attendant, she could come and go as she pleased within the palace grounds. Could Rafa's attendant really be the killer? But that would mean...
First my father, and now Nana?
Nana would just drown her sorrows with some good old Coors Light. Okay, took me a second with the accent you typed in there. Coors Light.
These were the people I trusted most. How could this be? Do not heed their lies. Lawyers are a foul breed, quick to claim that a third party is to blame for a crime. Nana did not enter the tomb. That much is certain.
How can you be so sure?
When Nana's hat was stolen, that crazed curse spilled an urn full of water upon my husband's doorstep. Is that not right, Rafa? Yes. Yes, it is. While that dingbat dog was tugging on Nana's hat, it tipped over the urn. The bottoms of her shoes would have been soaked with water. And she had truly headed into the tomb with wet shoes. She would have left shoe prints along the way. But the only shoe prints to be found belonged to my husband, Inga. Huh? Then... That's right. Nana never did go into the tomb that day. Instead, she entered my husband's private quarters. How do you know? It's quite simple. Shoe prints were discovered in Inga's private quarters. Shoe prints that belonged to Nana. That's right. Edgeworth and I did see some shoe prints in there. Now, do you understand? Nana could not have possibly have gone into the tomb. And that supposed third person at the crime scene is but a figment of your imagination.
Another glorious deduction. All hail the genius that is Her Eminence, Queen Garan. Bow down before her glory, witness lawyer.
Could those guys fanboy any harder? But is it really true? Did Nana go into the tomb? Or did Nana not go into the tomb? Excuse me, but... Mr. Wright? Your benevolence. What time was it when that dog attacked Nana?
I believe it was about 2:15 p.m.
I see. Apollo. If Nana entered Inga's private quarters at around 2:15, and Inga came racing out at around 2:30, pale face and screaming, then...
I know what you're getting at.
Yes, that might explain his scream. Pale face and screaming. I don't know, because I mean, I've already had my idea of why he would do that, but I don't know how, if that's, I don't think that's going towards my idea. Would the defense please share their theory regarding Justice Minister Inga's scream? Yeah, please share that. This guy's fanboy any harder. Next time they show up, they're all wearing t-shirts with Garon's face on it. Yeah, little tank tops with little pom-poms on their hands. Certainly, Your Majesty. Minister Inga screamed because he saw a ghost. I think that's what I would say. It sounds ridiculous, but it's actually what happened. Because he saw Nana, who Nana really is. That's my guess. I mean, he was attacked by Nana. I guess maybe, but probably not that one. I think it must be he saw a ghost. To turn pale is such a having seen a ghost thing to do as well, so we're good with that one. Maybe he saw a ghost. Maybe even a bunch of ghosts, like from all the people he sentenced to death.
Ghosts? Really?
Sure. And they'll be back tonight. The spirits of the dead, unable to rest in peace. Alright, this is not sounding good. If you're not careful, Your Benevolence, they might curse you too.
Stop, please! I'll never be able to sleep again!
You seem awfully frightened for a princess who communes with spirits. That's true, dude. Apollo, don't you think you've teased her enough? Come on, let's think this one over again. You're right. Okay, so it wasn't that. Damn, I was hoping it was one of those things. I feel like that'd be so Ace Attorney to do that. But okay, maybe not. He had a bad dream or he was attacked by Nana. Having the bad dream one makes no sense to me. It must be he was attacked by Nana, I guess, then? I'm not sure why that would turn him white and why he would scream, but we'll see where we go with this one. Maybe he was attacked by Nana. This would make the Justice Minister's private quarters the real scene of the crime.
Does your idiocy know no bounds? The minister's body was found in the tomb.
Or are you suggesting that the body was moved?
Do you think the minister was moved from his private quarters? I think the possibility exists. Or it does not exist. I'm gonna say exists. Let's go with that. Let's follow this. Considering the fact that the body was found in the tomb, I'd say there's a possibility.
What utter nonsense. Rafa had been watching the courtyard. Yet you would suggest that someone could have transported the body unnoticed.
You have a point there. In that case, I'd say there's no way that the body was moved. After all, there was an awful lot of blood in the tomb. I understand if the scream was in reaction to Naina's attack, but Inga died in the tomb. I need to explain how those two realities could coincide. How are we supposed to do that? Oh, maybe. Maybe where he was stabbed and where he died were two completely different locations. What do you mean? It's just look at this as simply as possible. Okay, so try to jump ahead here. Is he saying that the knife was stuck in Inga by Naina in his bedroom? He then left and then went to the tomb, and then when Dirk got there, he ended up taking the knife out of the wound. Maybe Dirk was trying to help, because that's more like Dirk. And that's how Dirk got his hands on the daggers, because he was trying to actually help Inga. Doesn't explain Dirk's memory loss, though. Huh. Anyways, let's see what happens. It just looks at... It's just... Let's look at this simply as possible. If the minister's body wasn't moved, he might have been stabbed by Naina in his private quarters, but then died in the tomb.
I see. On the one hand, that seems plausible, but on the other, it seems decidedly implausible.
Prosecutor Sadmari, what is that fool babbling on about now?
I forgot fucking Nayuta was here, dude.
Is this a riddle from one of those fortune cookies Americans seem so fond of?
Perhaps. But I believe he himself does not know what he means to say. In all likelihood, it was a poor attempt to confuse us. We should simply ignore him.
I wasn't finished yet, so hold off on the analysis, would ya? The autopsy report never stated that the minister's death was instantaneous. So he could have conceivably moved from one place to another after being stabbed.
Oh my, are you suggesting he ran all the way to the tomb with a knife sticking out of his back?
Well, yes, that's the gist of it. In short, Minister Inga saw Naina with a knife, let out a scream, and when he turned his back to her to flee. Right, and that's when he was stabbed from behind. Well, Your Majesty, does my theory hold water?
How dare you bore me like this?
Huh?
You are a humorless moron, spewing an endless stream of unamusing drivel.
I wasn't trying to be funny, Your Eminence.
Prosecutor, enlighten this ignorant clown in lawyer's clothing.
Your Eminence. Ha! Nayuta? You dull, slow-witted, putrid-minded lawyer. Perhaps you would be too stupid to notice you had been stabbed in the back. But a normal person would have noticed due to the excruciating pain. Well, Inga wouldn't, though, because Inga has, like, steroid fucking painkillers, right? Now, hold on. Allow me to teach you the meaning of pain.
Ah, please Stop!
Now, Yuta has a point. Normally, most people would notice a dagger in their back. Ow. Yeah, I doubt someone could ignore pain like this. Still, in this case, it's the word normally that we should emphasize. Apollo, take another look at the court record. Right.
There must be something that explains this.
There's a reason Inga didn't feel any pain. And the defense will submit evidence proving just that.
Very well, please present your evidence. Why didn't Justice Minister Inga notice that he had been stabbed?
Because he was on steroids, bro. He was on the roids.
Take that!
Those are my father's painkiller shots.
The defense will explain the significance of this evidence.
Minister Inga suffered from terrible back pain, so he often injected himself with these. We're told that one shot in the back would make all his pain go away. With this, it's easy to explain what happened. Don't tell me you didn't know about these, Your Eminence.
I didn't know he was on steroids.
You can't mean he was on steroids. Minister Inga was stabbed in his back, close to where he usually injected the painkiller. Therefore, it's entirely possible that he hadn't noticed that he'd been stabbed.
What?
What's this?
Using them royal roids, exactly.
Then, are you suggesting Justice Minister Inga really ran off with a knife protruding from his back?
I am, Your Majesty.
So then, when I saw my father, he had a knife sticking out of him. I mean, when that cape of his, I couldn't see his back very well.
Yes, the knife was there. It was just plunged in so deep, you didn't notice it under the cape. Therefore, when you saw your father, he was already dead. Murdered by Nena in his private quarters.
Polkanka!
Drama!
Holy mother of Karin! Are we dealing with the living dead here?
Well, technically he wasn't dead yet. I know it's hard to believe, but this is a plausible sequence of events. And once Minister Inga arrived at the tomb, he could have removed the knife and dropped dead from blood loss.
Nena killed my father. There must be some mistake.
The defense would like to call Nena to the stand. You seek to drag an innocent old woman to the stand with no proof whatsoever. Well, there's no real proof, but... What a tangled web of expedient lies you weave.
I can no longer tell fact from fiction. Who or what shall I believe in now?
I'm sorry, Rafa. All I've done is confuse you. But I have a sneaking suspicion Nena's involved in this case one way or another.
Just when I thought we'd blown this case wide open. Oh, there's no turning back now.
You fool of a lawyer. I know why you are so desperate to prove the accused innocent.
You do?
Yes, because he faces public execution if proven guilty. As shall you, under the stipulations of the Defense Culpability Act. From the moment you accepted this case, you have had no choice but to fight for your lives.
No. The simple fact is I've always believed that Dirk is innocent.
Pah! Still you cling to your pretense. Very well. I shall offer you a bargain. If you would admit that the accused is guilty right here, right now, I shall overlook your crime of abetting him, and you will not be subject to execution.
The ultimate fucking choice here. Is this some sort of joke?
Far from it. As queen, I have the power to grant pardons, even to criminals like you. And with the wave of my hand, I can even reduce the severity of a sentence. Perhaps even for Dirk, should you be willing to cooperate.
She wasn't kidding when she said she's the law here. But to flaunt that power in our faces like that, that's just wrong.
Forget all that was transpired in our kingdom and return to your own country in peace. Well, will you abandon your defense of the accused and accept my generous offer?
If I don't take this deal, we'll be executed along with Dirk if he's found guilty. What should I do?
Why would I ever abandon the defense? I almost just want to see what happens. Alright, let's see. Save state, slot 1. We're going to abandon the defense just to see what happens.
We'll be executed if we lose this trial. Poor Trucy will lose her father. I feel bad for Athena, too. Besides, life is precious. It's not something you should gamble with. Still. I made a promise. And there's one more person I can't abandon in this time of need. Which leaves me with only one choice. Nice try, Garan. But it looks like you don't know what justice is made of.
We won't kowtow to threats like that, Your Eminence. Sweet. Glad I picked that one. What if the other one just like skips over that and it's just like, of course I'm not going to give in, and then we don't get to all that sentimental stuff. I kind of like that cheesy, emotional stuff. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry, but I can't back down now. I don't want to drag you into this, so don't worry. I'm with you, Apollo. To the bitter end, if need be. And while I can say I'm used to it, this isn't exactly my first rodeo.
But if I'm found guilty, you'll get the death penalty too. Even knowing that, you still want to defend me?
I don't know what happened in the past. But it looks like everyone in this country considers lawyers to be liars. So I can understand if you don't believe me. But I still believe in you and your innocence. So all I have to do is keep believing and find the truth. That's all there is to it.
Gotta love Phoenix in those moments, dude. So keep on fighting, Apollo. You'll hear no objections from me. Sorry, one sec.
You nincompoops! You'll die if you lose this case. Why would you even entertain the notion of continuing?
I believe that Dirk is innocent. That's why. And besides, trials exist to give the truth a chance to get out into the open. You can't give up just because you're afraid of some punishment.
Even if that punishment is death? Does that not frighten you, Hornhead?
Who wouldn't be scared? I mean, just thinking about it. Makes me weak in the knees, to be honest. But as a lawyer, I have a duty to protect my client. I can't just abandon that.
A duty you're willing to die for. And yet, I...
Duty. It's a heavy burden, all right. Rafa looks like she's really struggling.
Your benevolence. As crown princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy, and what is true and what is false. And most importantly, what role you must play therein. I wonder if I'm even up to the task.
I don't know why we had to watch that again. I mean, we've already gone over that just earlier, guys. But it's no surprise, considering the torrent of painful truths she's had to face. Very well, then. If the defense is prepared to face the death sentence under the Defense Culpability Act, then I see no reason not to continue with the proceedings. But I must admit, I see no grounds for doubting the accused's guilt.
Unless the defense has further evidence that would indicate a different suspect.
Do we have anything like that?
Well, lawyer, do you have any new evidence you would care to present? Or shall I have the executioner start his preparations?
If she thinks I can't do this, she's got another thing coming. But first, I have some serious thinking to do.
I'd say that the new evidence indicating a different suspect... Ah, shit. I mean, I'm gonna assume it exists. I don't know what it is, but we're gonna do our Phoenix Wright bluff. We're gonna say it exists. Of course I have some new evidence.
Do you now? How very interesting.
Why doesn't she sound the least bit concerned? No, I can't let her get to me. I just have to keep pressing forward.
This new evidence points to a different suspect. Honestly, I don't know. The only thing I could think of, I don't know. It's a long shot, but somehow this maybe somehow. Nah. The other thing I'm thinking is like, well, there's a guy in this picture here. Like, who's this guy? He must have been in the grounds if he was there for a channeling at 2 p.m. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think I might have to look this one up. I'm just really not sure. Usually they kind of jump out. Maybe it's nothing, too. Maybe I'm wrong and there isn't any evidence, you know? Let's see. Huh, okay, so apparently there is no evidence. So yeah, I am wrong about the evidence thing. I am supposed to say it doesn't exist. Let's just try presenting something and see what happens. Just for the content.
You would claim this evidence proves the existence of a different suspect.
Wait, that wasn't the reaction I was expecting.
Your Eminence, are you saying this piece of evidence doesn't do anything for you?
It would appear to me that you chose that evidence at random. In the vain hope you would learn something from my reaction. Is that not correct?
Oh.
Your Majesty.
For shame. Okay. Let's see. This is why we save. Does not exist. Such evidence does not exist.
Just as I thought. I was so hoping you'd present meaningless evidence and allow me to claim your head.
Glad I didn't walk headfirst into that one, then.
Except I did. So what now, Apollo? Well, unless we can prove that Nana killed Inga, this trial is over, and so are we. Isn't there still a way to get the proof we need? Even without evidence? You know, a key means of opening testimony here in Karain. Or sorry, of obtaining. I think I said opening. Oops, of obtaining in testimony. Huh? Wait, are you actually suggesting... Certainly won't be easy, but it's worth a try. I mean, the seance? Your Majesty. A crucial step in uncovering the truth behind this case has yet to be taken in this trial. But I'm positive that I can back up our claim with this one step. You mean you will be able to prove that Nena killed Justice Minister Inga? And just how do you propose to do that? With the help of a certain someone. You need help. From someone? Well, I can't imagine who it could be. But I suppose I must ask. Whose help do you need to uncover the truth? I mean, it has to be the seance, because he's, you know, things like in Karain, the key way to get testimony. Nena. That's gotta be Amara, right? Oh, there she is. Reifa. Take that!
But that is...
Me? Here in Karain, legal proceedings include the viewing of the victim's final moments. But that requires your benevolence's help. Such information is just as vital as any other piece of conclusive evidence. If you're right about this, Reifa's power should enable her to see the very moment Nena stabbed Inga. It'll be hard to watch your father's murder. I mean, she probably won't. He got stabbed in the back, right? You're not going to see much. But it's the only way to uncover the truth. Especially since it took him a while to die. Are you going to see the moment that he was stabbed? Or is it going to be him bleeding out? You know, how does that work? Your benevolence. We need you and your power. You need me? Wretched simpleton. Do you not see what ensued in the previous attempt? You would only succeed in wasting more time, or is it your goal to make her collapse again? Objection! The princess said she was prepared earlier. Besides, it's her duty as royal priestess. I'd say it's all up to her now. Am I prepared? Prepared to fulfill my duty? Isn't a divination seance required at all trials anyway? If so, I imagine there'd be a problem with handing down a verdict without one.
Indeed. It would be problematic. Under Kariani's law, a seance must be conducted before a verdict can be rendered. Yikes!
Must you try my patience so? If I must dispense with that vexing law, then dispense with it I shall. Huh? As ruling sovereign of Karain, I proclaim the following.
She's scratching it with her finger.
Henceforth, the divination seance shall be optional.
What? She has the power to do that? She just rewrote the law with a flourish of her hand.
Mother, I do not wish for the trial to end like this. It is as the defense said, I must not neglect my duty simply because I am afraid. I shall go through with this time. I will conduct this seance once more. Reifa, do not be fooled by this loyally guile. You are not prepared to witness your father's death. But Hornhead needs my help. Reifa, did you not tell me earlier? Did you not tell me you were prepared? But despite your grandiose posturing, you collapsed in a most piteous fashion. Even worse, you have erred in your insights of late. For has not the barbed one there overturned them more than once? Oh. You cannot be trusted to keep your word, nor can you reveal the truth through your insights. So I say to you, begone! The Sacred Hall of Justice has no need for such a worthless royal priestess. Worthless? Wow, how can she say that about her own daughter? So, Mother, you think me worthless? Her benevolence says she can do it, doesn't she? So I don't see why you have to condemn her before she's even made the attempt. Very well, Horned Devil. If you really are so bent on having a seance, I shall give my consent. Really? However, should Rafa fail once more, you two and the accused shall be executed on the spot. Like, on the spot? Like, what the fuck, dude? Come again? This is proving to be far more entertaining than I had anticipated. Well, lawyer, what do you say? Will you wager your life and call on Rafa to perform a divination seance? I mean, of course we will, right? Of course we'll say first. Call on Rafa. Let's see it. Let's see the dance. She just wants to see bloodshed. Yes, she does. Absolutely. I don't think you're worthless. Your benevolence, far from it, in fact. I think you're super hot and I want to go on a date with you. If you say you can do it, then I believe in you. Hornhead, I do not understand. If I fail, you will be put to death. I know you collapsed during your previous attempt. God, she looks like horrible there, dude. Oh my god. I can't even imagine how terrible it must have been for you. But despite that, you are willing to try again. I have faith in that conviction and that courage. My courage? Ah, so she was doomed to fail if she didn't have the courage to perform the seance. But it looks like she's got the determination to try again. Right, and that's a bet I'm willing to take. But it is as Mother said. I've erred in my insights as of late. Not only have I failed to reveal the truth, I've also contributed to false accusations. Knowing that, can you still say that you believe in me? I wouldn't take stock in those words, Your Benevolence. Despite what your mother says, I don't think you've made any errors at all. Huh? In the trials I've been a part of here in Cardain, I would have never proven my client's innocence without your seances. Because even though they didn't always reflect the absolute truth, the insight they provided served as vital leads to finding the truth. Vital leads? My seances? So please, Your Benevolence, try to perform the divination seance one more time. Rafa, stop this madness. It is for your own good. You are ill prepared to face your father's death. Go. Leave this sacred hall at once. No. What did you say? I said no, Mother! For I am the royal priestess of Kahrain. I have no need for you now. Even if you do not need me, Mother. Hornhead and his Hall of Justice do. He proved that to me by risking his own life. It is because of him that I now understand. The divination seance is my sacred duty. I must fulfill it no matter the risk.
Your benevolence.
Mother taught me that the divination seance was a mirror reflecting naught but the truth. But I began to have my doubts after Barb had disproved the insights it offered. And now, I don't even know who or what to trust anymore. Father, Mother, even Naina. I had believed in them above all others. But I finally know now. I know in what I can trust. The royal priestess must debate each seance with the presiding lawyer and prosecutor.
Oh, okay, this is her. We're just remembering it, but she didn't say this in the past. So yeah, this isn't a past voice, my bad. I can trust in the plumed Punisher.
So that I can be interpreted properly. That is how I believe trials here in Kahrain should function. Therefore, the Hall of Justice needs me. It is my power that leads trials toward the truth. That is my sacred duty, and I will never shrink from it again.
That right there, your benevolence, is the product of what you've learned in your struggle so far. The truth that you realized with your own strength.
As my sacred duty, I must ensure that it is fulfilled. I must have the courage to resolve to see it through.
Your Eminence, the royal priestess says she will conduct the divination seance. I see no grounds for you to forbid it. Unless, of course, you're worried that it might reveal something you find inconvenient.
Mother, I am done letting you have your way. Rafa, you would actually rebel against me, your mother and queen. Though I am scared to see my father's death, I must face my fear. That is what Hornhead has taught me here today.
Rafa.
I am the royal priestess, Rafa Padma Kurain. And I am prepared to face my father's death.
Wow. Your Eminence. They very quietly dubbed her. Very quietly, though. Seems the princess is more grown up than you thought.
Rafa.
Well then, let us proceed with the divination seance. I get to see the dance again.
The victim's final moments. This should be interesting. I wonder what Inga's memories are going to show us.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
What did she say? And the guys in the back are like, huh? Did she say something? Dancing magic. Yeah, to get back to that idea, I wonder if someone did dancing magic, like how they would explain, like if they did like a hard magic, you know what I mean? Because this feels like soft magic, right? Like it's not explained why it's a dance. It'd be interesting. It's like, well, these motions somehow are explained in like a scientific way or something. I guess it could be like someone's trying to create symbols with their body or something. Like runes, but they're using their body to create them. So they turn it into a dance to remember it by. So I feel like spells have been like poems and stuff before. I feel like that'd be a handy thing to like remember the poem if it rhymed, or remember the spell if it rhymed, like a poem, right? I guess the Naruto hand signs is kind of like the closest thing I could think of. But that's not dancing, that's hand symbols. But they are like doing hand, like rune type things, I guess you could say, right?
Grapes, incense. Ooh, sour. Delicious. A fine wine. Oh, look. The faceless lady. I nod at her. Footsteps. We're walking. Oh, we're in Amara's tomb already, huh? A man's voice. Incense. So he had the knife in him this whole time? Wasn't aware he's bleeding out to death this whole time? He looks up at her. Oh! Footsteps. And there's Dirk. That doesn't help us. Oh, he's faceless though. Oh, because he's face blind. I forgot. He wouldn't be able to see anybody's face anyway. That's interesting. That's how they did that. Explosion. Laughter. Right. So him being face blind is gonna be a big part of it then, because they didn't do that on accident. So, because it could have been anybody who was dressed like Dirk then, right? At that point. Weird. What in the...
A faceless being. Hand dances, yeah, exactly. The Naruto thing. Well, what the heck? His face. It's just like that picture of the founder. I think that's the last thing anyone expected to see.
Oh, Father. What was it? What was it you saw?
Are we to understand that this was the last thing the victim saw?
Yes. There can be no mistake. That was my father himself. That is what my father himself witnessed.
Oh, very strange. You don't suppose the Holy Mother possessed the accused and slew Minister Inga for planning a coup?
Wouldn't that be crazy?
The divine wrath of the Holy Mother? Oh, Holy Mother, we are ever grateful for your blessings.
Talk about a sharp left turn into the Twilight Zone. You know, there's one thing in there that caught my attention. That laugh. Who does it belong to? And why are they laughing?
Who knows, though I suppose it could be Dirk after he slew my husband.
Uh-huh. But that figure didn't even have a mouth.
Oh. I think we're done here, lawyer.
How so?
You claim that Minister Inga was stabbed in his private quarters.
and feeling no pain, went to the tomb, where he eventually fell dead. But the seance vision proves he was stabbed in the tomb, and felt great pain, no less. Oh, that. Therefore, as I asserted all along, it was the accused who stabbed the minister in the tomb. Ah!
Everything just backfired big time.
Wow, Garon has the devil's own luck, doesn't she? Now then, I shall give voice to the soul of the deceased. Listen well and heed these words. Insight. At around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. He was drinking grape juice while gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother. It's all grape juice. No fermented grape juice, just grape juice. He had been waiting vigilantly when suddenly he heard Dirk's voice. The next moment he was stabbed in the back and collapsed. My father tried to shoot his attacker, but he missed, and the attacker let out a laugh. So what now, Mr. Wright? It's up to us to knock holes in Rafa's interpretations of Inga's memories. In other words, we need to prove that her understanding of them could be mistaken. Okay, I'll give it a try. So trippy. Okay, I just wanted to watch it again. At 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. He was drinking grape juice until, while gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother. Waiting vigilantly when suddenly he heard Dirk's voice. You heard Dirk's voice? When was that? Oh, man's voice. So we're saying that's Dirk's voice? Next moment, he was stabbed in the back and collapsed. My father tried to shoot his attacker, but he missed, and the attacker let out a laugh. I don't remember how we're best to do these. Let me save. Try to treat it like a press, because it just says man's voice in the vision. So, and she talks about Dirk's voice, so there's like a connection there, so I'll try selecting that.
Objection!
Your benevolence. There seems to be an inconsistency in your interpretation. An inconsistency? Where? Mr. Inga is far too relaxed for what was supposedly about to take place. That's true. Yeah, I don't say anything about that. Like, why was he just sitting there drinking wine and looking at that picture when he was supposed to be delivering a hostage and exchanging it for the Founder's Sword, right? When he heard the voice you claim is Dirk's, he didn't seem the least bit alarmed. He just kept looking at the picture of the Founder. That's strange, right? He was waiting for Dirk to arrive with the Founder's Orb.
But when he heard that voice, he didn't even turn to look. Don't you think he would have been worried about being attacked from behind? Then whose voice was it? It was likely someone whose presence wouldn't have alarmed him. Like his wife or something, huh? Someone like a friend. But there was no third party at the scene of the crime. Therefore, the voice can only have belonged to Dirk. The voice of a third party who wasn't there in the tomb. Apollo, don't we have something that could reveal the owner of the mystery voice? You know, I think we do. Something that Inga had while he was waiting for Dirk. With it, he just might be able to figure out whose voice it was. I believe we can identify the male voice Minister Inga heard with this. I'm sorry, with... What? What did he have on him? Oh, a cell phone. Well, that makes sense then. He would hear her voice because he was on the phone? Huh. Wait a second. I guess I'll, let me just save real quick. I guess I'll present that. Take that! That's my father's. I know this must be hard for you, but could you please look at this photo? There's something here that can point us toward the identity of the voice. This is the real source of the man's voice. The cell phone. Take that. A cell phone? Right. I believe that the voice the minister heard was of a call on his cell phone. I see. Well, that certainly makes sense. What is your eminence's view on the matter?
I concede the possibility. Then it seems I must refine my vision. It appears that the voice belonged to one of my father's subordinates.
Interesting that she can do that. Why do you suppose he was talking to one of them?
My father had members of the secret police positioned throughout the palace. They were supposed to contact him as soon as they saw Dirk and the rest of you.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Your benevolence, I believe you have an insight to revise.
I know, Barbed Head. Don't presume to tell me how to do my duty.
My father then took a call from a subordinate at the palace. My father tried to shoot his attacker, but he missed. Let out a laugh. So the voice was coming from the phone. That's good to know. But there might have been other sounds coming from the phone. Sounds that could be clues. Let's take another look at Rayfa's insights and really focus on the various sensations. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this now. Incense, grapes, sour. Incense. Footsteps. Incense, incense. Footsteps. Footsteps, footsteps. Subordinate's voice. Incense. Footsteps. Lion's roar. Dog's bark. Oh, okay. Pain. I think I know what that's about. That's a war bod and Shahadu. because he's on the phone with the police that are capturing them, or that are trying to capture Dirk. Or sorry, not Dirk, but Dats Revo. Let me get where the lion's roar is there. Lion's roar. Can you get the dog's bark too? Ah, damn, I guess one's fine. It probably doesn't matter. Alright, let's see. Go to the one where she says, my father then took a phone call from a subordinate at the palace. Select. Dog's bark.
Objection!
Your benevolence. This insight is inconsistent with this division.
Oh? Please do tell, where exactly does this inconsistency lie, Hornhead?
Wait, hold on. It's kind of hard to say, especially when you put me on the spot like this. So it wasn't the sound? Man, I didn't even save for that one. I was so sure. What the hell? The dog bark wasn't it? Guess I better take a closer look at the insights in the vision before I try again. Okay, I'm just gonna have to look it up then. That's the new thing, dude. All right, let me see what the guide says. Let's see. Select distance. Man, okay, man's voice, photo, cell phone. Okay, we did that. Let's look at third statement. My father then took a call. We got that. Okay, the lion's roar. Okay, so I was right. It's the lion's roar, not the dog. Dude, come on. They both represent the same thing. That's dumb. Come on, dude. It's the same concept. Wait, which one am I supposed to push it on? That could be what I fucked up. So like that third statement at the third frame. Yeah, that's what I did. Okay, whatever. Being a little finicky here, Phoenix, right? Select.
Objection!
This better be right. I didn't save again.
I hate to break it to you, God damn it. I hate to break it to you, your benevolence, but you misinterpreted something again. What do you mean? Again?
Smooth move, Apollo. I think you just hurt her feelings.
She may put on a brave face, but she feels more than she lets on. Let me rephrase that, your benevolence. Your interpretation of your father's phone call to his subordinate at the palace is inconsistent with the final memory. What do you mean by that?
You done fucked it up again, girl.
A lion's roar could be heard over the phone. Don't you find that strange? You claim the call was with someone at the palace. Let me ask you, do you keep lions there? No. The only animals at the palace are little birdies and my pet frog.
Wait, that giant one in front of the minister's house is her pet?
Besides, there aren't any lions in Coleraine. We don't even have any zoos. A rather sad state of affairs, I'm afraid. Well, I remember hearing a sound like that. The lion's roar coming from the phone is actually from something hanging out in the bazaar. Now I'm gonna go ahead and save because it's been too long. The bazaar. The warbod. Isn't that the cry of the warbod over in the bazaar? Ah! Your benevolence, do you think you can clarify the voice for me? Very well. I will now attempt to further refine my vision.
Do we actually get to hear what the guy on the phone's saying at this point? Like, what's up? Warbod's cry.
What's this?
What's this? What's this? There's something in the air.
Just as I suspected. It was the call of a warbod. That means the subordinate Minister Inga was talking to was in the bazaar, not the palace. But why is it important where the call came from? What significance could it have?
She's right. Is it important to know where the call was made from? Where the call was made from. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with the it is important because I always default to that because that's usually what it is, like 90% of the time. So we'll say it's very important. It's actually very important. Knowing that the person on the other end of the bazaar means that the loud explosion might not have been the sound of a gunshot. Oh, it was the firecracker. But, I can think of no other item that makes such a noise in the area. Go ahead, Apollo. Tell her. Tell Rayfa the real source of that sound. Will do. Well, Horned Head, I'm waiting. What was the true source of that explosive sound? Okay, go ahead and save the key. And we gotta use Albie's testimony. Or statement, I mean. Take that! What is that? It's Albie, your guide's statement. In it, he claims that Datsa Reball threw a firecracker at him while he was at the bazaar. Then... Yes, the sound heard over the phone was a firecracker exploding. Ah! And yet a bullet was found at the scene of the crime. A bullet fired from Minister Inga's gun. How do you explain that? Well, we don't know whether it fired during the course of the crime, right? Or do you have evidence that proves when the pistol was discharged? No, I have none. Wait a second. That loud bang was a firecracker. Then could that laugh at the end have been... No, it can't be. It was Dats. Oh, it can. And it is. The laugh came from none other than... the Joker who got a kick out of startling Albie with his dragon snot snaps. That happy-go-lucky Datsa Reball. Someone should really put a leash on that guy. I shudder to think how one man can be the cause of so much trouble. That's our guy, all right. Hell yeah. Hey there, AJPW. Y'all can thank me later. No one asked for your commentary, Mr. Arribal. Your benevolence. Do you need to revise your insight? It would appear so. My father then took a call from a subordinate at the bazaar. The true source of that loud bang was the firecracker Dats threw. And that final laugh belonged to none other than Dats himself. Boodaloo boop boodoo. Well, this changes everything. Let's go over the details of Rayfa's insight again. Okay. I think I've got this down now. Time to find another inconsistency. So let's see how it's different this time. Grapes, incense, sour. Incense. Footsteps, incense. Footsteps. Subordinate's voice, incense. Footsteps. Warbots cry, dogs bark. Pain. Incense. Footsteps, pain. Footsteps, pain. 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 Explosion. Laughter. Okay. Around 3 p.m. my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. He was drinking grape juice while gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother. I mean, that all seems pretty accurate. Father then took a call from a subordinate at the bazaar. The next moment, he was stabbed in the back and collapsed. The true source of that loud bang was a firecracker Dats threw. The final laugh belonged to none other than Dats himself. Inconsistency, huh? Let's see. So hey, is that Ice? Is that Ice I see in the chat? What's up, dude? That's literally the Larry Butts of, dude, he is the Larry Butts of this game. That's so true, Ice. That's so true. I miss Larry, but I guess, yeah, you're right, dude. You're totally right. Dats is like the Karianese Larry. That's funny. That totally makes sense to me. I see what you're saying. And welcome in, Ice. Good to see you. Okay, so what I was thinking was, so we know when the call was made, right? And she says a time here. So at around 3 p.m. my father was waiting in the tomb to make hostage. So she's asserting something here, and we have evidence of that now, that right? Because then we know. Yeah, at around 2 p.m. Shadi was surprised by a firecracker. So the firecracker, if that's the explosion for the firecracker, then the time's off. Okay, so, but we got to do this in the seance vision thing. So this is our thing here, and it's the then we point at the explosion, right? So what? Okay, let's click on this. There we go. And we just play it a little bit. And then we save it, just in case. And then we select the explosion.
Objection!
Objection!
Your benevolence. There's a glaring problem with this insight.
Hell yeah, there is, dude.
There is? You stated that the murder happened at around 3 p.m., which is right around the time my client arrived on the scene. However, now that we know what the source of the loud bang is, your insight conflicts with a certain piece of evidence.
Suppose I have to ask the obvious here. What evidence conflicts with the claim that the murder occurred at 3 p.m.?
I'll be your guide's statement, of course. He literally causes chaos in every case besides the first case Phoenix is involved in, even though he's an unrelated party. yeah, it's funny that he does that. He just isn't ever... He's not accused for stuff all the time. People are out to get him, though, all the time because he's a rebel or whatever, but... Yeah, that's true. He definitely fills that role. And also, like, besides that stuff, I guess, it's just the vibe he throws, you know what I mean? Especially as he's like the Larry Butts to Dirk's Phoenix, you know what I mean? Like, if Dirk is Phoenix, then Larry, or then Dats is Larry. I think it's, maybe that's that kind of thing. They're like mirrors of each other or something. These are the Chinese duo. And then the Japanifornia duo. That's a fun connection. Let's see here. Oh, we're presenting this. Yes, Dats is way more competent than Larry. yeah, Dats doesn't change his freaking occupation every other case or whatever. Like, oh god, what was his name when he was the artist? What was Larry's name? Oh god, I had it for a second, then I lost it. Didn't he have some pretentious name? I don't remember. He's funny though.
That'll be your guide's statement again.
all that needs to do is take an interest in dating models. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because Larry is a big, he follows the ladies. I don't want to call him a womanizer necessarily, but he definitely is always chasing after somebody, right? Yes, because you summarize what he, yes, because to summarize what he said, at around 2 p.m., Shahadu was surprised by a firecracker and ran into the palace courtyard. Yeah, Loris, yeah, Dunim, that's what it was. Yeah, it was the Loris part, which was hilarious to me. Around 2 p.m.? That's right, 2 p.m. Not 3 p.m.
Ah! Are you suggesting?
I think you know where I'm going with this. That's his laugh, the cry of the warbot, and the bang of the firecracker were all heard right before Minister Inga's death. Thanks to Albie's statement, we can put a definitive timestamp on all of these sounds. Therefore, what this vision shows is that it's extremely likely that the deceased's final moments were at 2 rather than 3, as we had originally thought.
Dare I ask?
It means the murder took place a full hour before Dirk entered the tomb.
Balkanka! How can this be? Are you saying that I, the very personification of the law, have been mistaken?
Did she just break all of her nails off, dude? Dude, they must have just been barely glued on there, dude. That would have hurt really bad. Now you see why justice will always prevail. And I mean Apollo justice. Peace, peace, I say! I must remind you that the figure of the accused was clearly shown in the vision. Was it clearly shown? He had no face. He has no face! How would you explain that? I wouldn't say it was clearly shown. After all, the figure didn't actually have a face. Ah, you're absolutely right. Without a face, we can't be certain of who it was. Furthermore, need I remind you that if the vision is from 2 p.m., Dirk was still with me and Mr. Wright. Which means this faceless figure couldn't possibly be him. So then, what are you to make of this 1 hour difference?
Wait, to 2 o'clock? That's when... my mother was performing the rite of channeling.
Oh my god, does she... Hold on. So, I always thought that she couldn't channel people, actually. Garon or whatever. So if she can channel people, then did she channel her dead ex-husband? Or her dead husband, I guess. Did she, and then that's who we saw? And, dude, whoa. I don't know, I'm jumping ahead. That might not be it at all. That'd be fucking great, dude. Also good on Phoenix for standing by the employees in these insane circumstances. Right, dude? Yeah, he's like putting his life on the line too for Apollo. Yeah, good on him, dude. Especially since Apollo has a bunch of personal stuff and Phoenix is just like, yeah, but this is just the right thing to do. You know?
The palace guards had all been reassigned to guard the channeling chamber for the rite.
Don't tell me. Man, Nayuta has said like 3 words this whole time.
The royal residence. It would have been virtually unguarded.
Which means the real killer could have easily slipped unseen into Amara's tomb. Defense, are you saying that this is someone disguised as the accused?
That's exactly what I believe, your majesty.
Yeah, so who is this guy? Was that the queen too then? Because if the whole channeling thing I was just saying was right, then I guess that would have been the queen disguised herself as Dirk, killed her husband, then went to the channeling thing, channeled him, became him, and then made it look like Dirk had killed him? I don't know. Weird. Somehow she would have had to get out of the tomb, though. I don't know. I guess she could have just turned into herself, I guess, or something. I don't know. That's probably wrong. Preposterous. Disguises cannot deceive the memories of the dead. If the face did not appear this time is mere happenstance. Hey, wasn't Garan the prosecutor here, not Nayuta? Well, technically Nayuta is the prosecutor. Garan just overruled him because she was the surprise one. But she did say that he was to stay there, so I guess he's still the prosecutor? I don't know. It sounds like the law is very loose when Garan's around.
Had it appeared, such subterfuge would have been as clear as day.
He's got a point there. Anyone who knows about the divination seance would have tried to hide their face. Nevertheless, our killer openly appeared before Inga. The question is, why? Because he's face blind, and they knew that. Apollo. Maybe the killer could afford to be so bold. Because they knew their face wouldn't show up in the seance vision. What? It's possible that the killer dared to dress in Dirk's clothes and stand square in front of Inga. Precisely because they knew they could get away with it. But how could anyone be so sure of something like that? A long time ago, I heard of a cognitive disorder that impairs a person's ability to distinguish between different faces. I mean, that Nayuta should take a 2-hour lunch. Yeah, why not? He basically has, dude. Like I said, he said like 3 things and she like put him in his place. It's just every once in a while like, and Nayuta, do you have anything to say? He's like, whatever. Only by then he'll have, we'll have won the trial, right? The rules are so loose when Garan is around that she can rewrite them on a whim. Exactly. What if Inga had it? Then, are you saying that this is literally how Inga saw the world? Yes. We can't normally see through the eyes of others, but in this case we can. And if he had that disorder, I imagine this is how faces appeared to him in life. Man, wouldn't that be crazy? What's just so funny about it to me is the juxtaposition with the picture of the Holy Mother, because they're not allowed to depict her face, right? It actually doesn't have anything to do with face blindness. But it's just like having these right next to each other. I just think it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's some form of irony or something. That's why Garan's my favorite villain. She made Nayuta finally shut up. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Coming from you, Ice, that makes sense. Okay. Let's say that the killer knew that Inga had such a disorder. They could definitely use it to pin the crime on Dirk. But if you're wondering about how to prove that Inga had it, you already have what you need. Really? Well, defense, do you have anything to show to this court? Yes, I believe so. Frankly, I have no idea what Mr. Wright means, but I'll look the evidence over again. How do you not have any idea what he means, dude? I have an idea what he means, and I'm an idiot. Let me see, save state. We're talking about his notes, my dude. I mean, it's gotta be his notepad. Take that! A notepad? Yes, it was found in Minister Inga's room. Yeah, I think you've said that every time you've come into the chat. I think if there's anything I know about you is that you definitely don't like Nayuta. But she's grown on me. I don't think I hate him as much as you do. And it holds the answer we're looking for. As you can see, it's filled with detailed notes on various individuals. What kind of clothes they wear, hairstyles, and other discerning physical characteristics. And this is connected to the faceless nature of the killer how? The vision we saw was exactly what Minister Inga saw with his own eyes. It is he who saw his killer as a person without a face. In fact, this is how he normally saw everyone around him.
What's this?
I believe Minister Inga had a disorder that prevented him from recognizing faces. It would explain the faceless being. And why he needed a notepad full of people's physical characteristics.
Now that I think about it, my father was always terrible at remembering people. By simply changing my hairstyle, he would fail to recognize even me.
Your Eminence, you knew that your husband had such a disorder, didn't you? Doesn't she look like she'd be like the villain in a Plume Punisher episode? You know what I mean? One of those like sweet like shoulder pads or whatever.
He never wished for it to become public knowledge. But I suppose there is no use in keeping quiet about it now. It is as you say. My late husband had a special disorder that hindered his ability to recognize faces. The medical term for it is prosopagnosia. Prosopagnosia? Oh, I've got to look it up. I am terrible at sounding stuff out sometimes. Oh yeah, we had caterwauling earlier. I looked up. That was interesting. Prosopagnosia.
Prosopagnosia.
Prosopagnosia. A neurological condition characterized by the inability to recognize the faces of familiar people.
Prosopagnosia.
Prosopagnosia. Prosopagnosia. That's a cool word. It's fun to say. Say it one more time. Prosopagnosia. So Mr. Wright was right.
The memories of those afflicted with such disorders in life do appear strange at times. There is precedence for this.
So the killer likely knew about the disorder and used it to their advantage. Right. So there's someone who is both knowledgeable about the divination seance and aware of Inga's affliction. Your Eminence? Who knew about your husband's condition?
A small number of servants who tended to his needs. And me. Surely you are not about to insinuate that I committed this crime.
I think you did. Look at you. Look at you, girl. With someone who didn't commit this crime? Dressed like that? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, Your Eminence. Still, could she have done it?
Garan has an alibi, remember? Oh, right. She was conducting the rite of channeling at 2 p.m. Channeling her dead-ass husband? I don't know, that's still just my theory. In that case... Your Eminence, does Nana know about Minister Inga's disorder?
Of course she does. She is our head servant.
So as head servant, she knew about Minister Inga's condition. And as the princess's personal attendant, she's familiar with the divination seance. If these two facts together don't make her a possible suspect, I don't know what would. Clearly, this is the dress of someone who is innocent.
You witless lawyer. How quick you are to forget the facts.
Facts like...
When Inga was last seen alive, you claim he was slain at 2, yet that is impossible. For Rayfa saw him at 2:30.
We did completely forget about that. I mean, I didn't. That's why I'm thinking she channeled her husband. You know, maybe she saw a ghost because Nana is Amara or something, and she's not face blind. So when she was channeling her husband, she wasn't face blind. So she's like, oh shit, Nana's Amara, and that made her, she thought Amara was dead or something. I mean, I don't know. I'm just making shit up here. But I'm just thinking she could have channeled her husband maybe. How girl would be allowed to prosecute her husband's murder case, but she is the queen. Right, yeah, exactly. I mean, they were gonna let Nayuta prosecute his own father too, you know what I mean? Which is kind of weird. I mean, they do address it, though. She can do whatever she wants, and I have no idea what this country's laws are anyways. Yeah, I mean, she rewrites a law, like, literally right in front of us, too, man. I don't know if you remember, but, like, at one point, she just took her long-ass fingernail and just rewrote a law to make it so the divination seances don't have to be done or whatever. So, yeah, dude. All the laws go out the window when she's here. I mean, she could just basically just say we're guilty, right? Just, like, you're guilty of being a lawyer and just kill us if she really wanted to. I guess there is a limit to what she's willing to do, though.
No, there must be some mistake. So you see, the murder could only have happened at 3 p.m. The hour Dirk entered the tomb, there is no other answer to this puzzle.
Why don't we ever get to make up answers like Garan makes up laws?
Guess it's back to square one.
But where did we go wrong?
I don't think we're the problem. We just seem to be short one piece of the puzzle. Our deductions so far explain everything to a T. Everything except for Inga's sighting at 2:30. I see, and without that final puzzle piece, all of our deductions fall apart. Apollo, if Inga's sighting is the only anomaly, we'll just have to find out a way to make it fit into the bigger picture. Time to think outside of the box then, right? Let's see. It would be impossible to see Inga walking around after he'd been killed. But what if there was a way to make people think he was alive, even though he was dead? Like a way to make people witness the living dead?
Sounds like some kind of TV show. Things like that don't happen in real life.
Apollo, did you just... I did.
I figured it out. I know how to make people witness the living dead.
Your Majesty, our deductions weren't wrong after all. Despite Minister Inga being murdered at 2 p.m., he was seen heading into the tomb at 2:30, and I'll tell you how.
I certainly hope you will.
It's not unprecedented either. Manfred basically prosecuted with what is basically his adopted son. Yeah, with Edgeworth too. Yeah, that's true. I hadn't thought about that. You're guilty of continuing to exist in front of me. Yeah, she could totally just do that.
Because I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's funny. I almost ad-libbed that exact line. The Minister Inga her benevolence saw was in fact someone channeling him. See, I was totally on top of that. I mean, they were smacking me in the face with it, to be fair. Someone channeling him. Or, I mean, we'll see. I guess I could still be wrong. It was the deceased being channeled. It's the only way a man who was already dead could have been seen by her benevolence.
Channeled, you say?
That's right. And there are only 2 people capable of spirit channeling here in Karain. Her Eminence Queen Garan and Maya Fey. It's possible that one of them was channeling the minister. Not Maya, dude. Don't pull Maya into this shit, dude. Maya, she gets blamed for enough shit, dude.
It would seem that you are ever bent on making me party to this crime. Prosecutor, what was I doing at 2:30 p.m., the time at which my husband was seen?
Eminence, I believe you had completed the channeling rite and were having tea with the king of the neighboring realm. There would have been many attendants there, too.
Nayuta has to keep up with her schedule, too? What doesn't she make him do?
Then that leaves only Maya. Yeah, it does. Maybe someone was forcing her to use her power towards nefarious ends. The real killer could have been threatening her.
That cannot be.
So then Inga's scream. That was probably from when he woke up from being called back to this world. After all, that's when the that's when the flow of time would have picked back up for him after he died. So Minister Inga probably leapt to his feet, thinking he just had a nightmare. I mean, that's weird that they said that, though. What Phoenix just said was weird, because doesn't it imply that Mia shouldn't have known what was going on all those times when she was channeled by Maya, but she knew exactly what was going on as if she was, like, watching over everyone, right? I mean, maybe I'm wrong if she didn't do that, but I always got the vibe that Mia was, like, already appraised of the situation. Like, as soon as Pearly channeled her, like, Mia already knew what was going on. So it's like, I don't know if that's how it works, Phoenix. I don't know. I'm not sure. So Mr. Inga probably leapt to his feet, thinking he'd just had a nightmare. So it's Amara that maybe did it then. I guess, is that what we're saying? Because if Nana is Amara, and I am right about that, which we have not been told that yet, then maybe she can also channel, because she was once the queen, right? And maybe she did it? Because her footsteps go into his private quarters, right? So maybe that? Maybe? We'll see. Mia special. Yeah, that's all we need. Just, you know, Mia special. Yeah, I just think it's funny that I think that like kind of contradicted with some stuff. Then, realizing it was almost time for the hostage exchange, he raced off to Amara's tomb, not even realizing he was already dead. Then, her benevolence really did see a dead man running.
I...
Yeah, seriously, I have no idea how to explain that in universe. Yeah, me either, dude. I think it's one of those things where it's just like, well, it just helps for this case if that's how it works, so we'll just... You know, they've never actually explicitly addressed it before, I guess.
You using the sacred power of spirit channeling to commit a crime? How can this be?
The defense calls Miss Maya Fey to the stand. Are you really gonna do that?
Well, Your Eminence, will you allow a new witness?
It matters not. Either way, this lawyer shall soon know the truth. He will know just how much of an imbecile he is in the face of my infallible arguments.
Insult me all you want, witch, but you'll be eating those words when I expose the truth.
Very well. Let us adjourn until the next witness is ready.
There it is, to be continued. I thought we must be getting close to that, dude. This is a long one. Was that like 3.5 hours? Yeah. Save game? Yes. Saving game. All right. Well, there is another part down. Let me at least play a little music here. Let me go ahead and get all these saves, these backup saves and stuff going. Wait, did I save slot 1? Yeah, well, slot 1. 3, 4. All right, cool. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming and hanging out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Really appreciate seeing all the names in the chat. I should be streaming again. Let's see, it's on the schedule. I mean, I might have another one this week because I have taken the week off from work. And I have gotten some of the projects I want to do done. So I might have another surprise stream here this week, but I'll definitely be streaming at least on Monday some more Phantom Liberty. If you guys are interested in Cyberpunk, it's been pretty cool so far. I'm almost to the end of that, but I think maybe I got a couple of streams of that left. We'll see. And I got a new game that I'm thinking about streaming that came out on Game Pass. So that one will probably be up next after Cyberpunk. What was it called? It was called like... I can't even remember. Reverse something? Rewind or something? What was it called? Start with an R, maybe? The Rewinder. That's what it is. Pretty cool looking game here. Where you go around talking to people. Looks like it's got some interesting lore and stuff. So yeah, I'm thinking about trying that one. I might try that one next after we get done with Cyberpunk or something. So yeah, just thought I'd give you guys a little taste of what's to come. This case is very long. Yeah, man. It was 3 parts for the second part of the trial. There was 3 parts for the second part of the investigation. There was, what was it, like 2 parts for the... Let me look at the table of contents on this walkthrough again. How big was it? It was, yeah, 1 day of investigation, 1 day of trial. Yeah, then 3 parts of investigation, then 3 parts of trial. Yeah, this is a huge one. So yeah, it should be pretty cool. I hope I can get the DLC case going too, but I don't. I remember when I first installed this game, I tried to get the DLC case like already pre-installed, but I could not do it, and I sat there for like hours trying to get it. I'm gonna probably try again to see if I can't get the DLC case, but I don't know if I'll be able to. I'm just throwing that out there. I want to do it, but I don't know if I'll be able to get it to work with the emulator. So I don't know. We'll have to see on that one. But yeah. I just remembered that. Hope Edgeworth isn't yelling at the TV too much while he's waiting. So many to be continued. Yeah, I know, exactly. Alright, guys. Well, yeah, I'm going to call it a night here. So thanks for coming and hanging out. Hopefully we'll see you guys on the next stream. But even if I don't see you, I hope you have a wonderful day. And, yeah, just stay cool, alright? See you later, guys. Bye-bye. Stay not guilty.